Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and an extra special warm welcome to the several hundred new subscribers who have joined this channel since these debates began. If you are new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these live shows. But most importantly, if you would like to join the debate, with the page you are currently watching on mute, simply click the link in the info box to join the discussion and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you'll be ejected. And if you are, please do not try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. If you're in the live stream at the moment, please share the show on social media. In a moment, I'm going to transition across to my photographs so I can do exactly the same. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of us having a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you are new to the channel or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. I just double checked that we do actually have the link correctly working in the show, as it's been a few different shows where it doesn't appear for some reason, just gets wiped. But I've just double checked it and it is definitely there, so feel free to click on that link. If one of you in the live stream could just test that it does actually work, that would be very much appreciated. Didn't think that needed to be done in these late stages of these debates, but obviously yes, it still does. But it does appear to be there. There we go, we've got Lottie in perfect timing. Lottie, good to have you here, my friend. Let's just raise the mic on the Hangout so we can hear you.
Good morning, Nathan.
Good morning, Lottie. Good to see you. Let's just bring it across. There we go. How are you doing?
Good to see you too.
Well, you're the first one in, my friend, so the mic's all yours.
I'd like a clean show today, guys. No muting, no swearing. Share the show as well. If you can, that would be fantastic.
Maybe you'd like to do some shout-outs.
Shout-outs,
yeah, that would be brilliant.
Vinegar Strokes, you made it to 2018. That's brilliant. It's another year under the belt. Well done. The Rig, we like you. You're funny. Nick with Noel, fantastic guy. Karen P. Coltrane, Sleeping Warriors side piece. She's cool. Globe bullshit, facts. Just his name is just a fact. The globe is not real. Who else have we got? Oh, stopping traffic in my MAGA hat. Shout out to you, Baz. All the regulars here. If you could dislike the show, please, and unsubscribe so Nathan doesn't hit 5,000 subscribers, that would be brilliant. Veen, we know you. Up in the hizzy. Vinegar Strokes, come on now. No need to be so rude. It's the same old people. Shout out Nathan for having 98 debates to prove that flat earthers are absolutely moronic, have no arguments, don't understand basic maths or education. So he's basically done our job for us, which is brilliant. We appreciate that, Nathan. Shout out to Ranty, £5,000 in debt. Should probably think about paying his debts. Monkey Business, hello. Agent Detective, glad you're here. You always provide great insight. We like that. Justice for Lottie, correct? We would like justice for Lottie. Nathan, quick question. Can you just give me mod controls and a wrench, please? It would make my job a lot easier.
Been joined by Sleeping Warrior. Good to have you here.
Yo, yo.
Oh, goddamn. Hi, Sleeping Warrior. Did he just snipe it? That's awesome. Welcome to Soundly's Banana Cam. Guys, just need to introduce Fathead. Hi, Fathead. Welcome to the show.
Hello, flamboyant dickhead. How are you?
Hey, sorry, excuse me, just a second. No swearing. You know the rules, Fathead.
No, that's your name. If you're going to disregard people, I'll disregard you too.
No, that's fine. You can comment what you like. Just remember the rules. No sharing, no muting, and no sniping. Also, shout-outs can be done randomly, but no swearing is a rule. So no swearing, please. Nathan, if you could enforce the rules, that'd be fantastic. That's what you're here for. So are either of you idiots going to say anything?
I'm chilling, man. I'm having a brew while you do the shout-outs for me. Thanks, Lottie. I'm really, really grateful. Thank you. Maybe you could give us your opinion on the Isle of Man photo.
I'm here to moderate, Nathan. I'm not here to give arguments.
Are you not?
No.
As long as you don't disrupt the show.
Is that against the rules?
Yeah, I'll make up the rules randomly if I choose to.
No, we know that. You've done that for 98 shows.
Yep, that's right. That's the privilege I have, as it's my show. So yeah, that's what I get to do.
I'm just here to follow. I'm just going to follow the rules, Nathan. Don't worry.
Good. Scott Veach, good to have you in our chat.
I'll do the shout-outs, Nathan. I think we agreed.
Love it.
Has anybody seen Knucklehead?
Maybe he's been sniped already.
Knucklehead? Are you...
Check on Skype.
No, that was Fathead. That was Fathead. Knucklehead is the other one with the knuckle for a head. Shout out to Sniper on Deck, one of my favourite guests on this show. Shout out to the 48 Globe watchers here just to have a laugh at the Flat Earthers.
Did I get kicked then, or was I sniped?
No, you got sniped, I think. You didn't swear, did you?
No. Just addressed him by his professional name now. seeing as though he's referring to everybody else by apparent
don't worry.
professional names.
Sleeping Warrior, you're allowed to swear. That's fine. Just you can say whatever you want. Anybody
swearing.
That's not swearing, is it? When it's a name, like Flat Earth Asshole's his name, isn't it? So technically, it's not swearing.
Just because it's in his name, you couldn't call yourself a swear word and then say, "Oh, it's not swearing because it's my name."
I thought you weren't here to debate. Just stick to your job, Lottie, eh? Just do the shout-outs.
Know your role.
Know your place.
Oh no, I'm just here to moderate and have a chat with you guys if you actually want to interact.
Hey, Nate. Yeah, actually, I've got something to talk to Nathan about. Let me find it. This is quite good, this, Nate. If you like this, I'm not going to give any names because I don't want to glorify this particular. Because I don't want to glorify this particular person. I want to read to you something from somebody's. There's a particular video that's gone out in the last couple of days, and it's a comment on that video. So it's really good, actually. It's a bit of feedback for you, Nath. It's critical, but just be aware. But it's quite humorous, and maybe we could discuss the ins and outs of it. It says, where is it? I'm on the thread. I'm looking for the particular comment. There we go. You ready?
Yeah.
It says, I'd be interested in your take on Nathan's extraordinary behavior in all of this. He behaves like the most welcoming of hosts, then turns on certain guests in quite an arrogant, petulant, and mean-spirited way. Why would I want to go back to a party after having the host berate me and belittle me? Now that's the feedback on your apparently extraordinary behavior in all of this. I'd just like your opinion on this one, Nathan. What's your response to that one?
Okay. I mean, if somebody says on the panel, I'm going to show you categorically that we can't see Douglas and we don't have line of sight with it, and then they, get presented by me, they get a nice warm, here, there you go, you're presented, and then they show you with absolute certainty that you do have line of sight with Douglas, I am going to absolutely jump down that person's throat for telling me something completely contradictory to what they have just proven. So say to me, we don't have line of sight of X, and we do have line of sight of X, I'm going to point that out. And when they continue to argue with me, yeah, you can be damn sure I'm going to be condescending in my tone, as we've literally got an image, as it was the case yesterday. Oh, got a sniper on deck. As it was the case yesterday with Paul. So he pointed out, I'm going to give you a demonstration of how we can't see Douglas. And then he showed how we can see Douglas with absolute certainty. So yeah, that's going to get
What about if somebody comes on and says, I want to know where the bottom of the lighthouse is? Like that little 100 foot underneath that's probably there, but we can't really explain it. Not regarding the fact that the whole thing should be missing. What about in that situation, Nathan? How would you respond to that person?
Yeah, the same principle applies. It's like, if I will acknowledge that the flat earthers have a problem in the respect that the bottom, let's call it 100 feet just for the sake of conversation, is missing from that image. But that is 1/100th the problem of the entire image that we're studying in the first instance, supposedly blocked by Earth curve that isn't there. So if you want to discuss why something below what shouldn't be there on your model is there or is not there, first tell me why we can see any of it in the first place, because that's the main issue. It shouldn't be there at all.
So is that turning below on certain guests, or is that simply responding with criticism to the lack of conciseness in the first place?
Pretty much.
I put it to you, Nathan, that you're actually responding perfectly to the lack of evidence that's being presented to debunk the evidence that we're presenting.
Yeah, precisely. We have a lot of nonsense that we have to accept, and normally, I've got to be honest, it's the other way round. The flat earthers, typically, not all of them, obviously there's some really, really cracking flat earth researchers, but there are a lot of flat earth researchers that just make assertions with no evidence to back it up. And what we've had in the last few, maybe not weeks, but the last few days at least, from globeheads, is total and utter fantasy. Complete nonsense, a presuppositional idea that we have an obstruction that we don't see. And we've got a new guest. How you doing, Hellboy? Good to have you.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good. I'll shut up, because you're a new guest, much more important than me, my friend.
Oh, no, I ain't new.
That's correct. Welcome, Hellboy. Welcome to the show.
Oh,
What
yeah,
that
I've
mate-
been on the show before. Probably
What
a
that
different
basically
name.
means, new boy. I can't. What's it say? Hellboy. What that means, Hellboy, is Nathan thinks, right, I've got somebody in now. I can go make a brew. So right now he's got the kettle on and he's making himself a cup of tea.
Well, let him make a cup of tea then.
Yeah. In other words, you got to do a bit of talking, pal.
Oh yeah, no, I
Is this your first time on?
yeah, sure, it's my first time on. Why not?
Okay. Are you on the ball side, flat side, or are you unsure?
No, I'm on the ball side.
Not your first time on.
Who said that?
I said that. I know
Oh,
you.
it's not my first time on? Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I know
probably know my
you.
voice.
But you're a good laugh. That's all that matters. I've forgotten your name. It will come to me. Your avatar name.
Yeah, I can't remember which name I got on last time.
It had an eye as the logo, like a snake eye or something.
Shout out to Spherical Earth in the chat. How you doing, buddy?
Shout out to Morky Love. Good to have you.
The rig passed out the other night. You'd like to chat with me again. The rig passed out while I was in with what's his name, Make Four, and we were talking to the rig, and Sheeps and Neeps came in. Now, for anybody that's not aware, the last time me and Sheeps and Neeps had a conversation, it was fueled with anger. We hated each other. However, Sheeps and Neeps came into the Make Four's channel, and then very quickly followed by Mark Taylor and Globy, and it's amazing how quickly me and Sheeps became friends when Mark Taylor walked in the room. It was amazing. It was almost like making music. It was very interesting to interpret from my point of view, because the last time we spoke, we were horrible to each other. Shout out to
well,
Sheeps and
well,
Neeps if
Sheep's is
he's listening.
Scottish, right? So that's kind of how it is in Scotland, right?
Yeah, they are
Come on,
generally quite aggressive.
yeah. You go to a bar and you talk to someone, you don't have a like friendly conversation with someone. It's heated,
Yeah,
but you're still
they are
talking.
known for being generally aggressive,
Gotta
overly
disagree with you
aggressive.
guys here. I'm sorry. That is the biggest crock of crap I've ever heard. Some of the nicest people I've ever dealt with are in Scotland. So I used to have loads of dealers. Well, not loads of dealers around the UK. Quite a number of dealers. A couple of which were up in Scotland, and I loved going up there because the people were so nice.
No, what
Yeah,
I
but
mean is friendly aggression.
They,
It's like you're talking
the
friendly,
language, they
but you're
sound
talking.
aggressive. That'll give you. They do sound aggressive.
yeah, they come across aggressive
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
friendly aggression. It's like the conversation's pleasant, but to anyone who's outside of the conversation, it sounds like it's not.
Yeah. Well, it was amazing how quickly we united and became friends when Matt Taylor walked in. So shout out to Matt Taylor. Thank you for that, Mark. It was productive from my point of view. And then Make Four got cheesed off with them both and kicked them. It was Matt Taylor and I can't remember who the other one was. Anyway, it was another baller. So you're on the
Right there.
ball
So,
side then?
what percentage of this debate do you guys think we're going to be talking about Ranny's pictures? That was Ranny that took those pictures, right?
Nope.
No, who was it? Then?
No, it was my original pictures, but it was Ranty. Ranty
That
was
was
the one
your
that spotted
pictures.
it. So what percentage of what did you say?
What percentage of this show do you want to spend talking about those pictures?
Well, the
Because it
Americans
seems
won't
like
be in because they're all in bed. So all the usual trolls won't be here. So we're able to pretty much talk about anything. We don't have to talk about that. We can talk about. I mean, you can tell me about gyroscopes if you want. Do you want to tell me why gyroscopes don't measure the curvature of the Earth when they should do?
No, I really don't. But um, I'm just wondering what percentage of the show is going to be talking about those pictures, because that seems like the core of this debate for the last probably week and a half. And I give you mad props for that, because you took a picture, you took a set of pictures and a video, which instigated about a week and a half of debate, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, the argument against flat earthers is that there's no evidence that the Earth's flat. Well, when we come up with evidence, they don't want to see it because I mean, like I say, I mean, I know it's been criticised for a variety of reasons, but you have to understand that I didn't take it originally to try and prove the point that we're talking about now. I took it because I got to the top of a hill, realised I couldn't see what I went to look for, and then just panned around to see what I could see, and that's all it was. It was nothing more than that. It was nostalgia for me.
I'm just
And
saying that the fact that the debate's gone on this long about it is in some essence, you deserve some respect for that.
well, it is good evidence. There's a lot of curvature that's missing, and it's an awful lot more than the maths tell us that should be there, which is sometimes, a lot of the times, because of that standard refraction adjustment, it puts a lot of the evidence into like 50-50 area where you're not really persuaded one way or the other. So then by default, you flick back to it being a ball just in case you might be wrong. But on that particular
Do you
one,
know what I
it's
just did? You know what I just did, man? By asking
Well-
you about it, we started talking about it.
I
Give
was
me a
on
sec,
about
man.
gyroscopes.
I'll be back in a second. I got to step out for a bit. I'll be back.
Oh, look at that! There. See what he did there. That was sneaky, that Nathan. What he did was he asked about the I asked about the gyroscopes. He brought me back onto the Isle of Man, and now I started talking about the Isle of Man at his request, and then he stepped out.
Yeah, basically, the Globers have got to figure a way of making it seem like it's a subject that's ended, even though, to answer the question, I would talk about that photograph on every single show from now on. That's the truth. Because
maybe he just had something to do.
you doing shout outs, Lottie? You doing the shout outs?
Yeah, can you just moderate, please, Lottie? You're not allowed to be
just
involved.
moderate, my friend. Just stick to your job.
Yeah, stick to moderating. Thank you.
They want to shut this conversation about the photograph down because it's flat Earth proof. There's no curvature.
No, you're already instigating paranoia. He asked a question and he interrupted himself and said, "Oh, I need to step out a second."
Is this moderating?
He genuinely had something to do.
Seems like opinion you're offering here. I don't know why you're offering your opinion, moderator. Just know your place. See, Sniper knows his place. Sniper knows that he's got nothing to say. All he can do is join and mute people. So Sniper knows his place.
I'm moderating the conversation, and that's what I'm doing. So
well,
I'm
moderating is done silently.
Lottie. You do yours.
Yeah, see if moderators like the Sniper comes in. He thinks he's moderating because that's the best, the sharpest, blunt little tool he's got is to come in and mute people. Look at him try and defeat me with this blunt little tool. How amusing.
But the thing is, I'll tell you what, Nathan, next time he comes in, allow him to mute you, right? And then let me speak so that he can see that it doesn't stop me from speaking or you from speaking. It just stops Lottie from hearing us, which isn't actually a bad thing, given that he's in a silent role at the moment.
Sorry, my kid's trolling us.
She's more effective than Sniper on Deck.
I appreciate the work Sniper on Deck is doing for me.
You think he's your employee, do you?
Well, he's like you said, he's helping me out. I'm gonna have to listen to you rant on him about fat-headed
Hey Nathan,
issues that
if
no
you
one
get a
cares
stream
about.
deck, there's a button that you can press that I can't remember how it works, but it's a macro that you set up that ejects the most recent invitee or attendee. So you just press a button and he's gone. You don't have to press the menu button and then press eject, and then he leaves before you get a chance to click it.
Hey guys, sorry about that. I'm back, man.
Do you want to talk about gyroscopes?
Dude, I don't really know too much about gyroscopes.
Oh, okay. So what is it about the shape of the Earth that makes you like fall onto the ball side of it? If you don't really know too much about gyroscopes, because they do play a significant role. They're a good topic of discussion. What is the proof for you that makes you persuaded that we are on a ball?
I'm not that type of debater that that you can easily, persuade into that type of conversation. If that makes sense.
I missed the first three words out of that.
I
What
see
did you say?
You're baiting. You're baiting to try to get debate.
Yeah, of course I am. It's a debate channel.
Right? And it's kind of like a poker game, right? If you have the upper hand, you start it off and you essentially try to get the person, you try to reel them in. Yeah,
I am baited.
Like
I'll agree and admit that I am baited. I'll agree and admit that I am baited. I'll agree that I am baited. I'm just trying to see what
let's talk about. Let's talk about those pictures again, right?
All right, okay. And the missing 1,000 foot of curvature.
So what can we do, man, to help you actually get better pictures, right? Something that actually goes against all of the contradictions that a lot of the people that believe in the globe model have about those pictures.
I'll tell you what. Do you know what I could do?
How can we help you do that?
Do you know what I could do? I could set up a Patreon account, like Refraction Soundly's done, and I could ask people for $1 a month so that I can
No, I don't
improve
think
my
you need that.
images.
You
But
don't need
actually,
that.
all I need to do is go back there.
You've got the audience. You've got the audience of a pretty large number of people here, and we'll help you out. It's not like
I just need a list of what
it
you want
doesn't
me
have
to
to be
do when I'm there
financial
so that
help.
I can
Because a lot of
satisfy
this
all
stuff
the
doesn't cost a lot
requirements
of
and
money to
demands
do.
that the ballers expect of me to get credible, repeatable, observable evidence that basically shows that there is very little to no curvature whatsoever. So, I mean, a list of check things would be great, like a compass to show the direction, which is inaccurate in any event. Some kind of way of measuring
Exactly.
the
So
precise
that's
altitude.
what I think that we should put together, and that way, the
Yeah,
next time you go out, you have all of it, and then nobody can discount what you say, right?
yeah. I asked Tim
Um,
Osman yesterday, and Tim was really polite but shirked it and passed it on to somebody else. Did you notice that, by the way,
yeah, but
Nathan?
what
He shirked
happens?
it.
Okay, so right now we can talk because there's three of us in the room,
Nathan, did you
excluding
notice
Nathan.
that Tim shirked it yesterday?
Um,
I thought he got booted. I thought someone sniped him out.
He did, but I asked him to write me a list of the things that he wants me to do so that it would satisfy and persuade him that the evidence was repeatable, observable, and credible. Because there seems to be an issue with the credibility, which is fine. But if you tell me what you want me to do, and as long as it's not unreasonable or disproportionately expensive, given that I don't have a Patreon account, I don't have anybody, it will be coming out of my own pocket. As long as if it's reasonable, I will do anything that the ballers ask me to do, provided it's within the bands of reasonableness.
That really
And
annoyed me with
how
Tim
far are
Osman.
you from? How far are you from the location? Like, can you even be there like very often, or is it like a 3-hour drive for you?
Yeah, 2.5 hour drive to get there on a good run. Probably nearer to 3 in real world if I didn't speed a bit. But yeah, it's a fair trek away. It's not on my doorstep, but I don't mind going there if I have a plan for what. I mean, I have a plan. It's just whether or not it'll conform to the standards and expectations of the ballers. Because obviously we've got to persuade the ballers. It's not presenting my own evidence. It's about persuading the ballers that the evidence is credible, repeatable, observable, and verifiable.
Yeah, and you took that footage at full exposure of the camera you had?
Well,
Or
I
not
mean,
exposure,
like I say, the
full
context
zoom?
wasn't. The context at the time was literally just to document what I could see. It wasn't to do with anything to do with flat Earth. It was literally to see what I could see when I got to. Because at the end of the day, when you get on top of a cliff like that, or a hill, or a mound, or whatever you want to call it, you just look around you and do a 360 and just look left to right and just see what you can see. And obviously, I could see stuff, and I was like, oh, I'll just document it for my own prosperity's sake. And then Ranty wanted to see that particular video because I can't remember specifically what he wanted it for. It was something to do with Miles Davis. And I sent it him over, and a day or two later, he said to me, hey, have you seen this? And I was like, yeah, of course I've seen it. He said, have you looked at it properly? And I was like, what do you mean? He said, I think that we might be able to see stuff here that we shouldn't be able to see. And I was like, what do you mean? So he told me about it, and I was like, do you know what? I'll have that. That makes sense. So I looked into it myself, but then realized that I didn't take anything with me with regards to like shoring up the credibility of it. So I didn't take with me like any kind of height measurement things, which I now know seems to be important. My plan is to take a long rope.
You're an idiot, Riley.
My plan is to take a long rope, chuck a brick down the end of the thing, see how long the rope is when it gets to the bottom. Sorry, Mod. What did you say there, Mod? Did I say something wrong, Mod?
You gotta be careful though, right? Because like, I mean, you say that. I'm not sure if that's a half truth or if that's a true way that you want to measure the distance.
Well, they're asking me to measure it, and I have no idea how I'm going to measure it other than chuck a brick down on a rope to the bottom and measure the hypotenuse of
I
the
might
triangle.
have a solution for that. So I've got I didn't check the length, but I'm sure it's about 40-foot tape measure that I used to use when I was an estate agent, and I'll just post it to you. I'll dig it out after the debate and get the exact length, but it's a very, very, very long tape measure which you could literally throw over the side, and it's got feet and centimeters on it. You know, what more could you want?
That'd be cool. 40 feet tape measure. I'm guessing it's one that looks like a big, an old style film reel. That's all.
It's about the size of a frisbee. It's about the size of a frisbee.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, if you could dig that out in advance, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll post it to you.
And so, as far as the details goes on the picture itself, so a lot of that stuff, yeah, we can make that happen, right? But like, so you used what, a P900 probably?
Yeah, P900. And I didn't have it on any particular settings. I just had it on whatever it was on at the time because basically I got up there and I realised that I couldn't see the tower because it was too far away. I went up there specifically to see Blackpool Tower, but it's 50 miles away and it's too small. I need something bigger like the CN Tower or something like that to see it. I just couldn't see it.
Was that the only time you was there, or have you
No,
been there multiple times and seen the same?
no, I've been
thing?
there. I've been there twice. The first time I went was just for a week away. The second time I went was because I can't remember whether I did it was the second time I did it. We went back because I wanted to. I can't remember why we went back the second time, but we just liked it. It was just quiet and it was peaceful. So we thought we'll go back again. And this time I was hoping to see Isle of Man, but up towards the top end, because that's the bit that we can see that's the closest to us. And all I did was panned over. But now I know specifically what I'm going to do, and I can take precautions with me to make sure that I do stuff to improve the credibility and the credibility of the evidence. However, I'll just put it out there now that nothing I do will be considered to be enough, because somebody will come back and say, no, you should have done it like this, Riley, even though they've never done anything themselves. They'll say something like, oh, you should have done this, Riley. You should have. No, that's not the way I'd have done it. Well, you weren't there, were you? And I'm just doing what I can with what I've got. So, without $50 million a day, or with
my advice to you, Riley, man, would be that anytime someone says that, just make a note of how they want you to fix that.
We've been joined
That's
by
why I
M.
asked.
Scott. Sorry to interrupt you, Hellboy. We've been joined by M. Scott Veach. How you doing? Good to have you here again.
Pretty good. How you guys doing?
Not bad.
I've already
Not bad
done
at
that,
all.
Nathan.
Turn you up a bit.
And if it's a 3-hour drive, I mean, honestly, that's for me. 3 hours ain't that much, right? I like driving though, so you know.
Well, I'm in January now, so I'm in the quietest part of the year for me, so I do have plenty of time. So I'm all right for that. The drive isn't too bad, but this time of the year, the problem or the risk is the weather. I mean, I could go there and spend a week there, and it rained for 5 of the 7 days, and then for the other 2 days, I get average to moderate weather and not be able to see it, and it'll be 7 days of nothing.
So we are coming up on about half an hour of this live stream, so I'm going to first of all thank all the audience for joining us. If you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these live shows, and if you would like to join the debate with the page you are currently watching on mute, simply click the link in the info box below this video to join the discussion and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. If you've not done so already, please share this live stream on social media, as it does increase the live audience, which in turn increases the likelihood of a more diverse panel. So one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate.
Hey, so do you know any flat earthers that are in close proximity to that area that live around there?
Yeah, I do. I've got 2 guys that have asked if they can come and help because they want to witness it, but they also want to help because one of them's got a drone and he wants to record me doing the observation for third-person view of it, which would be fun on the actual cliffs from elevation, so you can see exactly where I was. If GPS won't, because I mean GPS is, you don't really need GPS, but they insist on it. But if they insist on it, then so be it. If it is contentious, because if it is contentious, it does raise the bar of evidence.
I do apologise. We'd just like to welcome Cooper. Happy New Year, Cooper.
Yeah, how you doing, Cooper? Good to have you here. Can we get a hello? You're on mute at the moment, Cooper.
Just has he been sniped?
I don't know. If you're on it's M. Scott Beach.
We should get rid of him if he doesn't speak soon.
Yeah, I'll get rid of you if you keep interrupting me while I'm trying to do a sound check with a new guest, Lottie. So, how you doing, Cooper? Can you check if you're sniper on deck doing it as well? And we've got Riley as well. Can you hear us, Riley?
Yeah. Oh, that
no,
must
not
be a song.
Different Riley.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you,
Yes.
Cooper. You're a bit loud, but other than that, we hear you.
Sorry about that.
And how you doing, Riley? Riley Alsop.
Hello.
With a name like that, you must be wicked.
Give us a chance, Anthony. Sorry. One more time, Riley.
Hello.
Hello. Good to have you here.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
Fathead,
patience.
please stop interrupting when we're trying to do introductions.
I'm feeling that Lottie's role is a little bit restrictive. He doesn't really have a lot to say, and therefore, because he doesn't have a lot to say, he makes what's the word? Inappropriate outbursts of speech when he's not meant to be. I'm wondering if we can expand
trying
his
to
role
moderate.
somewhat so that he can feel more included.
Yeah, you could. I'd appreciate that.
Nathan, should we put him on brew duty?
He's doing well. He's doing well. Good job, Lottie.
So, Rodney, the one
Thank
thing
you.
I would say, right, just to, because we'll probably change the subject pretty quick, but just to let it out, if you do have a couple of friends out there that are willing to help you out, don't do it as a collaborative effort together, in the same place, right? I would say synchronize, or you don't really have to synchronize today, but go out there at the same time, 3 different locations, take this footage at the same exact time, mark off your GPS coordinates as you take the footage. If you want, even there's certain settings on some cameras that you can do that. If you hook your phone up to it, you can actually record the GPS coordinates as you're recording the footage, right? Things like that.
The
And that
trouble is,
way,
the two guys that want to help,
it's a
they don't have
lot
P900s.
less. Yeah, you probably thought about that already.
They don't have P900s, to be honest. And the two guys that want to come up don't have a P900, but one of them has a drone, and the other one has a camera that'll be able to record what's going on, like from a different perspective, like the ground level perspective. Which, I mean, to be honest, the other guy just wants to witness it because he's interested by it. But the guy with the drone, he wants to do like the theatrical panning round because he wants to add music to it and stuff like that because he thinks it's worth doing, and I agree. So all he said to me is,
but
"Let me know."
something like, again, I'm not sure if Argos sells P900s, but the stores like Argos, they have a 15-day money back return policy. I hate to say to expose that because that's a real bullshit thing to do. But if you have to do it,
Mm. I wouldn't say that, to be honest, because it is dishonest. I get what you're saying, but it's having the layout anyway in the first instance. I mean, they're like still 370 quid P900s, I think. This time of the year, not many people have got that much money knocking around that they can just even like short term get rid of. Let's see how much a P900 is now. Shopping for a P900 works out at the moment.
if you want it, you could also just look at getting the right equipment together and beforehand. And by doing that, what I mean is, go to Craigslist or something and just send out some invite saying, "Hey guys, I want to rent someone's camera for a couple of days. I'll give you guys 30, $40, right? To give me their camera for 30 days, right? Or even 2 days, whatever, right? I'm sure people would do that. I mean, you could get the equipment. What we don't want to do, right, is have like you go out there. One guy's got a drone, one guy's got a P900, the other dude's got a freaking rope with a brick on it, and together you're all in different places, and it's all.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've got to understand that without cash to do stuff like this, we have to do it out of our own pockets, which is okay to a short extent. But if we set up a Patreon account or a GoFundMe, we get criticised. If we don't set up a GoFundMe, we get criticised for not getting the stuff properly in the first place. But who pays for all this? I don't see very many ballers going out and doing stuff, and I don't mind going out and doing stuff.
Right. So there's part of me also that feels like a lot of these large corporations can take the hit on that 2-week return policy.
Yeah. What I really could do with is somebody that's on the Isle of Man.
If you actually go out there and you use that device and you say you bought it from this store to use, and you prove something like this, the amount of media attention that you're going to get just by saying I bought it from this place and I used their 15-day return policy, right, would blow their sales out the roof because they're getting extreme media exposure from it.
Well, what I really need is I need somebody that's based on the Isle of Man to get a flare and go and stand on the top corner of it where I'm seeing Island, and at the time just basically ring them and say, right, we're filming right now, fire your flare, and from the corner of Isle of Man, just fire the flare off, and if we can see the flare, we know where the Isle of Man is and we know where it stops. So then that would then give me the everything that's beyond that to the right of it would therefore can only be one other thing. So if anybody knows anybody in the Isle of Man and that happens to live in the north side of Isle of Man, put them on so that we can try and get a flare sorted, because that would be really useful.
Yeah. So what I'll say is, again, what is this then? Like, if you have these ideas of how you want to do it, don't ever limit what you're gonna do based on. Don't ever limit what you're gonna do based on.
How you doing, Huey? Good to have you here. Can you hear us, Huey?
Sorry, I was on mute.
No worries.
Happy New
Long time no see. Good to have you here.
So,
Hi, welcome, Huey.
Hey, what's up, Huey? So yeah, what I was trying to say was, what you should do is figure out exactly what you want to do, and then figure out a way to make it happen. Don't just go out there and do what you can do with your current resources, right? Figure out exactly what you want to do.
That's why I'm inviting ballers. Started yesterday with Tim to tell me the things that they want me to do so that I can try and do them based on having no Patreon account, no $50 million a day, something that's within the bands of reasonableness, and I'll do it. But the one thing that I really could do with is like I say, somebody on the Isle of Man with a what you call it, a flare, set a flare off so we can see where the flare comes from, and then we know that anything beyond that point is not the Isle of Man. That's what that's what I need.
All right, dude. So I swear to God, $10, £10, right? And a quick thing on Craigslist would get you someone who would be willing to do that. Obviously, you're going to pay for the shipping to send them a flare gun, but to find someone to do it is pretty easy, man.
What I'll do is I'll log onto Facebook now. I will go to the Isle of Man set, buy, sell, and swap. I'll go to Ramsey, buy, sell, and swap, and I'll put an advert on right now to see if I can get somebody to help me.
Yeah, just say like, hey, I'll ship you this. I'll pay you $10. All you gotta do is at the time that I say fire it, you fire it. Dude, people will do it. Just they'll do it because they're intrigued to do it. And, you may convert someone in the process.
Well, I may convert quite a lot of people in the process if I can get it. Right, Ramsey, buy, sell, and swap. I don't think there is one. Let's have a look.
Riley, look at something called Fiverr. I think they do things for.
Can you stick to shout outs, Lottie? There's a few people that have joined that could do with shouting out, Lottie. Just stick to your job.
That's a bit of bad reverb going on there.
Sniper on deck.
But I mean, but Riley, we're jumping ahead of things, right? I think before you actually find something to do it, the core is to figure out exactly what needs to be done, right? And you may have this planned out in your head, but you know exactly what needs to be done.
Yeah, the problem is that we've all got, because everybody's got an opinion, everybody will have a problem with anything that I decide to do, because certain people will say, well, I wouldn't have done it like that, Riley. I'd have done it like this. And he's never done anything in his life. And then people will agree with him because he's
the good thing about this, and I keep telling Nathan to take a break, but the good thing about it is 2 times a day, you can talk to the people that would be negating what you do. So you could come up with a great plan, and you could discuss it with the people in the room. And as long as we talk about it in the same manner we're talking right now, it will be good. And I think most Globers would be very willing to talk at this level if what we're doing is we're trying to help you to make a good experiment.
How you doing, Mike?
There's
Good
going
to
to
have
be
you.
those assholes that are going to be out there and they're going to say stupid shit that is going to cost, over $200 to do. And the nice thing about it is there's usually a lot of people in the room. So somebody will come up with a cheap way to do it.
Sorry to interrupt, Hellboy. How you doing, Mike? Good to have you. Can you hear us? Earth to Mike. Can you hear us, Mike? We can't hear your
Yeah, I
mic.
can.
Oh, there we go. Good to have you here, my friend.
Yeah, I said morning a few times.
Oh,
Thanks.
my apologies.
Oh, did the astronaut son guy? I can't remember what his name is. Did he get kicked before, or did he manage to get back in?
He's still here.
Oh, I didn't. I thought he got kicked.
I think he left and came back. How you doing?
My computer died, but it's back to life.
Ah, welcome. So, what
Welcome
would
to the
you
show.
suggest? What can we call you? Because you've got an abbreviated name. We need something like short and snappy. We can call you. What can we address you by?
Me?
Mm.
Scott.
Scott. Okay. What would you do if you were in my position? What would be your input for something that you could add to it that you would say is a fair thing that that I could do to help persuade people that are on the other side of the fence?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I actually jumped on because you were talking about dropping the rock or using a measuring tape, and I was just going to point out that the real key distance will be height to surface water, to the surface of the water, and so you want to be careful about, like, if you come back with a height that goes down to that beach, that beach might angle down to the water like who knows how much. And I can just see you having done that measurement, come back.
I thought about that actually. I think you're right, Scott. The way around that is to I've never been there to eyeball the location myself, but my idea would be to literally dig a trench. In other words, you get the water level to the side of the cliff. I don't know how practical that is, but that was off the top of my head how you'd get to measure to water level. It would require a spade and an hour of work, but you could literally bring the water level to the cliff.
Nathan, it's 9 meter tides. Digging a trench on a beach of 9 meters that's not reasonable.
9 meters from the coast from the edge of the sea line to the cliff.
From low tide to high tide, it's 9 meters.
Right. But if you did it at high tide, you could. How close is the tide to the actual rocks?
But the only problem with doing it specifically at high tide is that if the weather's not clear enough at high tide, but it was at some other point on its way up, and that's going to give me a very narrow window in which I'm expected to try and achieve it. And I don't think I'll be able to do that in a narrow window. I would need time to be able to...
No. You don't need to do that. I mean, if you're there for a few days, you just, at some stage, just need to measure the height of the rocks. The rest of the variant in sea level, you can extrapolate from that. But so long as you've actually measured how high is it from the rocks to... either the shore or depending on practicality, or the actual waterline. If you at high tide could get someone to literally dig, I don't know, a 10 or 20 meter trench to the sea line so that you could literally have the tape measure touching the water, that would be perfect, because then you've got what is the high tide. But even if it was just to the beach, you then know, if those rocks come out and my tape measure fails halfway down, and let's say it's 25 foot long, you're going to know that it's much, much, much higher than 35 feet. On the other hand, if it, gets to the bottom and has got stuff to spare, you know immediately that it's less than 35 feet. And then you plus on and so on and so forth. But I think, to give him credit, this is Lou's idea. He said the way to measure it is to measure it, and I agree.
Yeah, but the problem is that the land height is measured from mean sea level, isn't it? So that means it's the point where it's on average wherever the sea is. But that distance, in terms of lateral distance, is about a mile down the beach. It's way far out. So even if I'm measuring it down to the rocks, that isn't really going to be accurate, because somebody's going to say, "Yeah, but you didn't do it to mean sea level, Riley."
I appreciate that, but the closest you can get to that is to physically measure something, and I know what you're saying, but you've got to start somewhere.
But the other part of this is also this is something that he's obviously not going to go to a hotel or nothing, right? Something that's probably going to get done in about 6 hours of time. So what you got to make sure you do is to have enough data that you can go back and be able to contradict anything anyone says. So, simply
but
just
that's never going to
sticking a
happen. That though.
pole,
That's an
sticking a
unrealistic
pole
expectation.
at a known point in the sand,
Yeah.
right? With some measurements on it, and just taking a picture of that,
Mm-hmm.
right, from a fixed point, right? You could use that data to later on go and prove exactly what the vertical distance he was at was, right? And you can have a guesstimate to start with, and if it comes down to that guesstimate is not, when I say guesstimate, it has to be a pretty accurate guesstimate. But
Yeah, but if
if
we
it comes down to
guesstimate
the
stuff,
fact that we have to prove that guesstimate down to the level of millimeters or even centimeters, right? Then as long as you have enough data to back that up, that's what you got to make sure you have on the first round.
Sorry to interrupt you, Hellboy. Welcome to the Rumpus. Thank you for turning up. Happy New Year's, Rumpus.
Happy New Year, Lottie.
Yeah, good to have you, Rumpus.
Thank you. If you have any presentations, you should just go ahead and carry on.
Yeah, I'm about 3/4 of the way through of coming up with a full description of the problem. I'm just working out the heights on both sides, and I'm just trying to things like draw curves to scale so I can show Nathan it's not sort of leaping over walls or anything, and get this finally sort out this observer height business. I haven't been able to work on this throughout a week from Christmas and things, but now I'm back. And I've also found an ordnance survey map thing that you can buy that shows you 2-meter contours. So we can identify exactly how high Anthony was, where he was, and it costs £15. I'm toying with the idea of buying it. For £15, they give you an extra resolution contour map, and it shows the point where Anthony was, and we could find at least within 2 meters of where he was from an ordnance survey. We know is absolutely correct.
And don't buy anything at the minute, Rumpus.
But we're talking 2 meters. He could just throw
no, that's not going to work.
A brick with a rope on it.
Not going to work.
And within 2 meters,
I don't think it's going to work.
Within 2 meters, that will work.
Not going to work.
Within 2 meters,
not going to work. No way.
Plus or minus 2 meters, that would be accurate.
It's not a vertical cliff. You would be dangling at an angle.
Yeah, but he can figure out the angle he's dangling at, and he's got the tangent.
Tape measure. It's not a rod.
He's got the tangent.
That is not a sensible way to do it.
No, that's not necessarily what we do. So sorry. I will add this here. So before I came up with the idea, or remembered that I got a very long tape measure, Ranty had said that he's got some decorators poles, so we could literally extend them out and make the drop.
That's a better idea. I mean, you can actually use your tape. I mean, if you, I was just looking online, you can actually hire a theodolite, including a pole, for £25 for a day, and you could then, using your tape measure, Nathan, you could actually go onto the sand, draw a line on there that's nice and straight, because you want the tape measures obviously only work on something that's nice and flat. You could then extend, I don't know, a 20-meter, 40-meter line on the beach, get it nice and straight, then use a theodolite to then get a fixing on the point of the cliff where Anthony was, and you could quite get a very accurate height from the point on the beach you've picked. And then, but once you've identified how high Anthony is, I mean, you were saying earlier about working out where you were from the beach. All you need to do is to work out how high he is above, say, a thing that's well known, like the height of the whatever it is, the thing at the bottom of the cliffs, the thing that's drawn on the ordnance survey map, the high level, and then you can just use tide tables. I mean, I think we're everybody perfectly happy to say, if you know where you're such and such a height above that fixed thing we know is a height, we know what the tide is, we know where the median sea level is. We'd all accept the tables that exist for that point. So you don't need to go to all this ridiculous business of going down to the beach or anything. Just get to a point at the bottom of the cliff. You know how high you're above, and then we can work out everything from there, because on the ordnance survey it shows the difference. We know the tide is 5 meters or something low level compared to the median one. And the median one, I think, was about 2 meters below the promenade area. So if you can know how high you are relative to the promenade, then you've got everything. That's all you need to know. Everybody else will accept tables and information from ordnance survey from that point onwards. The trick, and as I say, you don't actually need to go to this trouble, because you can buy an ordnance survey map online for £15, which gives you 2 meter resolution I think actually even gives you better than that. I think the £15 one was 2 meter resolution, and I think they might even offered one that was higher resolution than that. And then if we know, and then Ranty's positioning of that cross was absolutely outrageous in the hangout the other day, when even it's quite obvious from Anthony's video that he's a good 15, 20 feet above the highest caravan, and Ranty put his cross at the same level as the top caravan. I mean, this is the idiocy this guy's got.
He didn't, Rumpus. You totally misrepresented what he actually did. That's not what he did, and it's totally outrageous. And equally as outrageous that you spent 25 minutes talking about refraction, but didn't talk about light that bends up. So come on, play fair.
Anthony,
Riley, can you let Rumpus finish, please?
Hold on, Anthony. I will go into detail about why you're an idiot with regard to this. You do not need to discuss refraction going up. This is the problem. You don't understand that refraction going down a little bit less than it was before is not refraction going up. You don't understand the difference between, say, minus 50, number minus 50 and minus 47.
Right, okay, guys, you know what? Guys, you know what?
Shut up. I'm really trying to explain something important here that Anthony doesn't understand.
Yes. Let Rumpus finish, please, guys.
You don't understand, Anthony, that simply because
Rumpus, you don't understand that I do understand.
That doesn't mean to say that something's become positively refracted. It's just become less negatively refracted.
Rumpus, but I could go into down, isn't it? When it becomes
less negatively. Hold on, you've done it again, Rumpus. You've left off your presuppositional part of the argument. So, assuming, hold on, I'll get it in with you, like it or not. I'll do it for you because you're being a bit dishonest. So, based on the presupposition that we live on a sphere,
nothing here to do with sphericalness. I'm just explaining a principle that things that go up. So
the principle of less down causing up is based on the presupposition that we live on a ball.
No, it isn't. No,
yes, it is. You showed us. Hold on, Rumpus. You showed me the bloody diagram. I watched and listened. It had a sphere underneath the line.
Guys, seriously, man.
It's based on a presupposition that we live on a sphere, Rumpus.
And the only reason why is because
excuse me, Hellboy, you don't have a great deal to add to this conversation.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Look, Rumpus joined. And we're taking the conversation to somewhere where it wasn't.
Yeah, can I just say response? This only started because Rumpus was bad-mouthing Ranty.
To the same conversation we're talking about.
Yeah, so Rumpus's argument relies on the presupposition that we are on a ball. That's what it relies upon.
The bit that I'm talking about doesn't.
Yes, it does. No, it the up becoming down because of less curve on a ball is a presuppositional argument that we are on a ball. So it is a presuppositional argument that you failed to disclaim to the audience. I'm now doing it for you, Rumpus, whether you like it or not. This is for the commenters who say, "Oh, he's so warm and welcoming," and then he jumps down their throat. You give me a presuppositional argument that we're on a sphere without disclaiming the presupposition. I'm going to do it for you. That's what I'm doing. Don't have to like it.
Can I just talk to Rumpus for 1 second?
Mr. Oakley, can you take a time out for a second, please?
Rumpus, listen. When you joined the room, you interrupted me because I was in the middle of a conversation, and you just started spewing off stuff. So let me get back. What you did say was there are different ways to measure this distance, right? And I agree with that. And let's say we want 2 meters of accuracy, right? The simplest way to do that without anything is for just to get a camera. Make sure there's a timer. Make sure there's a timer on the bottom. Don't.
The simplest way is to get an ordnance survey map with a 2 meter resolution.
What I'm saying,
and
listen,
then you just go to the point on the map where Anthony was. That involves no effort at all.
What I'm trying to describe is the easiest way for him to measure this, right? Without any of this stuff you're talking about, he could simply just throw a rock.
No, I've explained.
He could.
Within 2 meters, you've obviously done nothing like this in real life, have you? You've done nothing like this in real life. You've no idea.
Within 2 meters, it'll be accurate. Within 2 meters, if he found out how long that rock took to fall from the top of the cliff, if he threw it vertically to the bottom,
vertically, those cliffs are not perfectly
MGH and all that crap, right? It all makes sense.
Jesus
he
Christ,
could figure it out.
You're a moron.
I'm not.
You've never done anything like this. You're just guessing at the top of your head. You've never
high
thought about
school physics, bro. That's high school physics.
That's all you're applying here. It's not a vertical drop.
No.
Working out where exactly you are below you is not very easy to do. You can't do it with tape measure as you suggested earlier. You have to do it the triangulation, or just look at online, spend £15 on a map online that says, "Oh, look, to 2 millimeters resolution where Anthony was."
My
That is
brother,
far,
you said
far
within
easier.
2 meters. You set your level of accuracy at 2 meters.
Why can't we use
Well,
Google?
you can interpolate.
Why can't we
If
use
you've got
Google Earth?
2 millimeter lines, you can interpolate between.
And
the
what I'm saying is this:
You're an
within
idiot.
2 meters, air resistance is negligent.
What's
Within
air
2
resistance got
meters,
to
you
do
can
with
figure that
anything?
out just by dropping a rock.
You don't mean negligent,
Oh my
do
God,
you?
you're
That was a
suggesting
misspeak. You
timing
mean
it.
negligible, like refraction.
You
No,
don't
not
understand.
fraction. We're talking about air
You don't
resistance.
understand what negligible means, Anthony. Just because that paper, which
You
worries
do.
about in things like inverted,
It's in the dictionary, man. It's dead easy to understand.
For us,
It means
nothing
not
is
worth
negligible.
spending
On
any
these
time on,
calculations
dude.
we're doing for this thing, nothing is negligible.
But
But for the
accurate.
Yes, it
sort of
is.
thing
Why
about
are we
By your
using,
own science,
why are we
it's
using
negligible.
Google Earth?
meters
Why are
of
we discussing
accuracy?
Ordnance Survey
Within
maps? I
2
don't
meters,
understand.
okay,
Can
when you
somebody
say
give it?
2
Can somebody
meters of
explain this to me?
accuracy.
I'm a bit dumb. Why aren't we
It
just
all
using
started
Google
'cause
Earth?
Rumpus had to go at Ranty.
Right? Can I mean, the idiocy on
Is
here.
Google
Though,
Earth
it's
not accurate?
ridiculous.
I think we had this
Right,
yesterday.
unfortunately, as Paul found that the resolution of Google Earth, unfortunately, even they admit that it's only plus or minus 30 meters. And we've established from the plaque that Anthony's girlfriend picture took that they give a height of 80 meters for that plaque. If you go to Google Earth and you do the same thing, it says it's 30 meters. There's a 50 meter. Sorry, it says it's 50 meters. So there's a 30-meter difference between what the surveyors say the height of that plaque is and what Google Earth says the height of that plaque is. That should be very worrying to anybody who's using the Google Earth information.
Yeah, it's broken.
Exactly,
And then we've
Google
got
Earth don't
idiot
work.
Hellboy suggesting timing dropping rocks onto places you can't have vertical drops to. He's clearly not thought about this.
Yeah,
And when
I
there's
agree,
a
Rumpus.
simple
I know,
solution
it's
of
all
just
right.
using
You know, you've been
Ordnance
wound up by
Survey,
Hellboy, and I'm
That's
sorry
our
for
point.
that. You know, Hellboy's just trying to wind you up, but ultimately, I totally agree.
He's an idiot.
Google Earth is completely broken and useless. Anyway, we've been joined by Yahweh. How you doing, Yahweh?
Oh.
Very well, thank you.
Good to have you here.
Sometimes I look down on my creation from above, and I feel as if I can give some suggestions that might help. Anthony
Excellent.
could take a 360-degree video around him to positively identify his location. He could also note down the time of day that he is taking his observations, showing a clock in the
You
video.
wouldn't believe me
that
if I
he
did, though.
He could put his video camera on a steady tripod and pan slowly from left to right on the Isle of Man, thereby giving a stable, clear image that we could make a composite from. He could purchase a half-meter resolution Ordnance Survey.
Yeah, we know who
map.
Yahweh is now, don't we?
Only
We
costs-
recognise that tone.
Only costs £20 online.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Morning, Paul.
And that would give his accuracy to half a meter level.
Yep.
Morning, Paul.
Oh,
Have you got
that's
any
good.
molten iron?
Helpful.
Any molten iron evidence
Dropping
for
a
us for
rock will actually
self-perpetual
give you
motion?
accuracy.
Morning, Paul.
We have approximately 1 hour left on this broadcast. I hope you're all enjoying the debate thus far. If you are new to this channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these live shows. But most importantly, if you would like to join the debate to contest anything that is currently being said, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video. There are a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number 1, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin using sock accounts. If you've not done so already, please share the show, as it does increase the live audience, of course, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the show or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. As I say, there is approximately 1 hour left on this broadcast.
Whatever it is, or a proper camera, digital camera, we get a much better resolution than using the video, or at least you could use the video in camera mode.
See, now this is a
there's all sorts
brilliant
of ways.
example of where somebody would criticise me for doing the best that I can do with what I've got. At the end of the day, dude, we're looking 50 miles. We're not looking 2 miles.
No, I'm not going to criticise you, Anthony. I'm not the one who's criticising you for doing what you did. A lot of people say you should have gone there and made many more preparations. I perfectly accept that you went there to do something else and you just happened to do that. That's absolutely fine. What I don't approve of is Ranty putting a cross where he claimed you were, which is right below that camera. And when we can see from your video, you're well above it. That's a sort of
Yeah, but Ranty's cross was correctly placed, dude.
Agreed. Even a child would know that Yahweh was right, that the more data that we collect, the better. perhaps
Your
collecting
voice
the
change is turned
temperature
off.
time of
Your
day.
voice change has failed
voice
now,
changes. You
just
need
at the
to get
wrong
better voice
moment.
changing software, Paul. It's not quite
It's not
persuasive
kicked
enough.
in, so you just sound like a slightly camped version of yourself.
A slightly camp version. You mean a less camp version
Is
of
this
yourself?
better?
Yeah.
Who's this? Oh, we got a new guest. Sorry, shut up, Anthony.
All I'm
Yeah.
suggesting is that the more data we collect, the better.
Certainly
Okay.
better.
So if Anthony can collect the temperature at the time he takes the observation, the time
Yeah,
of
but Paul-
day, the more things Anthony can collect, the less
Yeah, but Paul, the problem is
there
if
will
I
be
collect the data,
about
Paul,
the
people will just
observation.
instantly
That's
dismiss it.
all I'm trying to say here.
That's good.
Okay.
Paul, if I collect the
Yeah.
data, people will just instantly dismiss it. I'd rather not have
But not if
something
you
where my
not
input's
if you
required.
video it, Anthony. So if you take a video, say, of your smartphone showing the time of day and the temperature, or the GPS location of where you're standing, if you do a 360-degree nice shot around to show that that's where you stood, all of these things add to the credibility.
Yes, Nathan, and right.
And also,
That's because you said it was 30. You said it was 30 degrees. You were asked the temperature, and you said it was 30 degrees.
Yeah, honestly, you're an idiot.
Yeah, but to be fair, I've been twice. Once was in the middle of summer when it was 30 degrees, and the other time was at the end of October when it wasn't. And I couldn't remember specifically which thing it was on. But I mean, yeah, I get it. But the problem is, if I record the temperature and, for example, it says 21%.
You couldn't remember if it was 13 or 30. Is that what you're saying? So you didn't know if the time was 13 degrees or 30.
Right, shut up. Listen.
Do you agree,
if I
though,
record the
Anthony, that
temperature
the
in
more,
January
the more
and it happens
data
to
you
be
take,
6
the more
degrees,
observations you give us, the better your credibility is.
Listen. If I record the temperature in January and it happens to be, for example, 6 degrees, and it happens to make the maths show very little to no refraction whatsoever, I will simply be called a liar. So how do I stop myself from being called a liar?
No, because those observations can be verified, Anthony. That's the whole point.
Hey, temperature
no,
wouldn't
we
be able to
the
do it. That's
BBC
what
keeps
make
temperature places on it. We can go and look on the day and say what the temperature is at that place at that time. See, that's not a problem.
You say that, but if I've got the thermometer and I'm showing it on the screen, somebody's going to go.
When you guys are done,
"Well,
can I ask Paul a
that's
question?
make it look better."
Yep.
The problem
Paul,
is if I
why do you
take the
choose Christian as
thermometer,
your avatar today.
Just for a bit of fun.
Yeah. So, Paul, another question, right? Within 2 meters of vertical distance.
Are you talking about the rock? Are you talking about the rock experiment?
Yes,
No,
I absolutely believe that you could get accurate measurement within 2 meters.
Stop, please, let me explain. Don't yell over me, please. You're very loud. Okay. No, it won't give an accurate result because you have human reaction time error both at the top and at the bottom in recording the time.
No.
And
We have cameras.
Yes.
You could video
cameras
it.
with timers on them.
Number one.
Cameras with timers.
Can you please let me explain? Stop talking over me. Okay. Number one, it won't give you an accurate measurement, and number two, it doesn't get over the difficulty that we have of the verifiability. Whereas the Ordnance Survey map is unquestionable. It's a third-party source of information that no one can dispute.
Nathan, just check.
I absolutely
Okay.
agree with that. I do absolutely agree with that. Right, but
it's pointless throwing a rock because it's, number one, too prone to error, and number two, people are going to question the accuracy of it anyway, regardless of how accurately you do it.
You've got
And
air
that's
resistance.
That's exactly what we're trying to avoid.
There's all sorts of variables associated with that, which
now,
make
Paul,
it.
Paul, you gotta understand, right? This is coming from a guy that already told him that throwing a brick with a string on it is not going to be cool. The only reason I'm even talking about it is because
unquestionably,
I
the other option
within 2 meters. Within 2 meters.
Please, can you stop talking over me?
No, you can't just like you can't just start talking while I'm talking and then expect me to stop, and then tell me I'm talking over you.
Let Paul have a turn. Let Paul have a turn now.
All right, go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead, Paul. It's your turn.
Right. The other option is to go to the local council. Maybe the local council have surveying maps or data that you can literally ask them for
there's a Girl Guide maps that we could use.
elevation
That seems
profile
credible.
of the area.
So
there's a Girl Guide maps. That seems credible.
Absolutely.
Gem Panda was using
what
that.
I think we need to understand though is the level of accuracy that we need, right? Rumpus did say 2 meters is enough.
No, that's the resolution of the contours. You can still interpolate between those. If you know exactly where Anthony stood, you can say, oh, he's halfway between these two 2-meter contours. Although, as Paul pointed out, you can actually get to 0.5. I mean, that's the reason why they have them. Because when you build something, you have to actually, they have to know the level. So they actually, that's why they sell this information at great cost to people who want to build things on there, because they need that resolution to within 0.5 meters. And so it has to be accurate. And actually, you can interpolate between.
You can actually get elevation and contour data for any sized area you want. 100 square meters, 100 by 100 meters would be, that's not 100 square meters, but 100 by 100 meters or 250 by 250 meters. You can get it online at the Ordnance Survey shop. It's not a map. It's what they call an elevation profile and contour data that you can import into a CAD program, and it gives you the contours and the elevations. You can get it online for £20.
That's right.
Absolutely. We can probably figure out the elevation at that point within about 50 centimeters.
Yeah.
Right, but we're talking about within 2 meters.
That's perfectly reasonable.
Paul,
that's all we need.
You do realise, Paul,
at the moment,
we can tell
we
can get a lot more accurate that way.
And by
a lot more accurate.
And by recording the time of day, that also allows us to determine exactly how far out or in the tides are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Paul, my question is just this, right? So like this dude's gonna go out there, right? He's got he's got a day to get all this stuff done, right? Right, when he's taking his picture, to make sure he has enough data to then be able to go back and use the surveys to be able to then determine how high he was.
You might well not bother to say what you just said. There was absolutely nothing of value in what you just said.
That's right, because the map supersedes all of that. Okay,
it's just gibberish.
Yeah.
No, hold on. I wasn't making a statement. I was asking a question.
The more observational.
I was asking a question. I wasn't making a statement.
The more observational data you can take, Anthony, the more credible you'll be.
No, mate,
that's
that
all we're
doesn't work
saying.
that way. Paul, it doesn't work
One
that
thing I
way.
would
If I take
suggest is you want a
observational
continuous
data,
pan.
I'll be
The
accused
one
of
key
faking
thing
it.
is when you do your video, you want to do a continuous pan from where you're taking the video from to the Isle of Man and zooming in, because then we know for a fact that you haven't done a cut. We know that you've got the video.
I did do that though in the original video, didn't I?
So it's very important to do a continuous shot and then zoom in to the point. I mean, for instance, you also didn't know how far you zoomed in. You said that, so that's crucial as well. That's something you need to note.
No, that's not true. I zoomed right into both the end of the optical range and the end of the digital range, and zoomed out from the digital range and got back to the optical range. Where do you get this rubbish misrepresentation concept from?
That's probably why one of the
you make stupid assertions that are completely wrong, and it cheeses me off. Represent me correctly, and I'll stand by you. Misrepresent me, and I'll jump down your throat.
So I've missed what you said. Sorry. So can you repeat, Anthony? I missed it.
It isn't true to say I didn't know what my zoom was, Rumpus. I zoomed right up to the end of the optical range, and I zoomed into the digital range, and I moved back to the end of the optical range, and I know precisely how much I used. Why do you continue to misrepresent me?
No, I don't.
You do.
No, I don't.
You do it all the time.
No, I do not.
You misrepresent me all the time.
You
say that I don't understand the refraction arguments, and you don't know that I don't understand them. I understand them perfectly well. You say that I don't know what my zoom was. It's complete rubbish. You say that I don't know where I was. Complete rubbish.
Don't cut him off.
Complete and utter misrepresentation.
Can you not cut him off, please? He was talking. Let him finish.
Excuse me, how about just a second? I'll do the moderating around here. Thank you. Keep it quiet.
All right, Lodi.
Good job, Lossie.
Dude, I ain't gonna fuck with Lodi because Lodi
just that was brilliant.
I'm not gonna fuck with Lodi. Lodi was here before I was, so he's got precedence over me.
And unfortunately, Anthony, I'll explain it fully in a presentation because you do not understand. You're getting all confused about the fact that I admitted about refracting up as somehow relevant. It's completely irrelevant. Therefore, I also didn't mention talking about black holes being
very relevant. It's called lying by omission.
I didn't mention black holes being nearby either.
No,
that's also
Rumpus,
irrelevant.
it's completely
refracting
relevant.
Up is not a relevant effect.
You told
in this situation.
lies by failing
what you
to tell
don't
the whole
understand
story.
is the refracting less is the same as something moving up.
You
You
also didn't
misrepresent me,
understand that
Rumpus,
refracting
and you
down
create a
causes
picture
things
that doesn't
to move
exist,
up.
Rumpus.
There are so many things you don't understand about it that are so basic.
Oh,
You're
there's
also
another
totally
one of those
confused about this 7/6. You think
How
that
do
that
you
is
know
somehow
what I
relating
understand
to the
or don't,
radius, the
Rumpus?
curvature of the line.
Why
It's
are you
not.
making
It's a value you
assertions?
stick into the radius in the equation. There's about
Rumpus,
5
stop
things you've got
making
completely wrong that you need to
representations.
have
You
explained to
don't
you.
know what anything about what I think.
I do, because the things
Can I,
just
can
say
I talk for a second?
wrong.
Can I talk for a second? Hey,
Yeah,
Lodi,
at least you won't
have we
misrepresent me.
not?
You have the mic.
Okay, have we not just like changed the core subject of what we talked about, right,
Well,
into
Rumpus has.
a global conversation that involves everything, right? Why don't
Yeah.
we stick to the point? Can you guys
Rumpus
not stick to the
misrepresented
point?
something about Ranty, and I jumped on it. That's why we
ridiculously
changed.
stupid are you,
Hellboy,
Rumpus?
you never
if you
say
cannot
anything of
stick to the
value.
point.
You never say anything of value. You're worse than Anthony. That was just a load of waffle.
There you go again, Rumpus.
Oh, he's an idiot. This
Rumpus,
hell,
you need to
this
write a
Hellboy's
book,
worse than
The
Anthony,
World
I think.
According to Rumpus.
Rumpus, all I'm asking you to do is stick to the point.
What point? What point? What point do you want? What point do you want to stick to?
Rumpus
What we were
misses the point every
sticking
time.
to
That's
was
why you
how
can't
the-
stick to the point.
How the hell to measure the
Ordnance
distance?
survey map. We got that. You got.
Okay. Have we come to the conclusion on that?
We finished that 5 minutes ago.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You finished it. I didn't finish it.
Yeah, well, you're an idiot. You're talking about dropping
finished it
rocks
for
and
everyone.
measuring,
See,
which is
Rumpus,
absolutely
why are you
idiotic.
calling him an idiot? It's
Everyone.
another
No
misrepresentation.
one else on the chat finished it. You finished it.
No,
In
well,
your
I
head
thought-
it finished.
Paul and
So,
I, the central contingent,
Rumpus,
realised how you do
calm
it.
down. Calm down, Rumpus. Now listen, bro. Let's go
I'm
one
not your
step at a
brother.
time.
I'm not your brother. Do
Listen.
not call me bro.
Okay. Slut. Listen, bro.
I'm not your brother.
Or okay. Mr. Dude. Dude.
I'm not your dude either. I'm not a dude.
Rumpus, we're not a lot of the things that you say we are either. So you can accept dude.
Well, I don't know what, but anyway, Hellboy never seems to get to the point where he speaks for 5 minutes and says nothing.
Yeah, but you speak for 5 seconds and misrepresent somebody, so you're as bad as he is, but in the opposite way
I have
around.
not misrepresented you in any shape or form.
You This all started because you misrepresented Ranty by saying he put a cross in completely the wrong place, and he
Okay,
didn't.
go and get
He
that
put it in
image from the
exactly
previous
the right
hangout,
place,
and you would
and I
see he
agree with
put it
Ranty's
at
position
the
of the cross
bottom of
because I
that
know where I
caravan,
was.
not where even you said you were.
No, Rumpus, it's exactly where I was. I agree with Ranty's positioning on the cross because it's accurate.
Do you? Hold on, I didn't realise this. Hold on, but you do have you've seen the clip, for instance, that Louis keeps on putting up of a clip from your video where he shows you looking down on the top of the top caravan.
I have.
So you're
I have
clearly
seen
well
that.
above the top caravan.
On that stretched image, yes, I would agree it looks that way. However, when you get the proper picture of the real world, not a stretched, distorted one that's Lewis made, then it's not the same as what Lewis is showing. Rumpus, you've got it wrong.
With you looking
Ranty
down
was
on the top.
correct, and you've misrepresented him, and that's why we're in this position.
We've been joined by Mate
Okay, we
4.
need-
Sorry, Rumpus. We've been joined by Mate 4. Good to have you here. Can you hear us, Mate 4? Have you been booted before you've had a chance to say hello? Most likely.
I'll add him on the Skype chat. Make 4 if you want to rejoin on the Skype call. I'll send you the.
So,
I'll
Ange,
add
let
you
me
to
get
the
this
chat.
right. You're claiming that cross that Ranty put on there, that's where you were standing.
Exactly
was
where I
shown
was
in-
standing. It was
Can you
precisely
show-
accurate, mate.
Okay, can you show me a picture? Have you got to hand a picture of where you're claiming you were standing?
I've done it hundreds of times.
Well, I'm sorry, yeah, but I'm now that I thought you'd accepted Lewis's point that you were standing well above the top caravan.
Snipey bird.
No,
Do it
Rumpus. That,
quickly.
again, that's a misrepresentation.
Well, no,
what I
I'm
said
asking
was,
you, Anthony. I thought you had.
with
That might be an
regards
error.
to
I
Lewis
just
and
want
his
you to tell
claim,
me where you think
I'm
you
happy
were.
to concede, just for the sake of discussion, 100 feet of observer height. That doesn't
No,
mean
well,
I
if I've
agree
got
with
it wrong,
Lewis.
I
It
want
just
to know. I
means for
want to know where
discussion.
you think you stood. And the shot that Lewis keeps on bringing up, showing you looking down upon the top caravan. So I want to make sure if I'm saying that Rant is misrepresented and you said you're somewhere else, I want to get this right in my own mind. If that's
Yeah,
where
this
you're
is the whole
claiming you
point,
were, and you
Rumpus.
agree with
You're not
Ranty.
getting things right, and that's why I keep pulling you up on stuff. You're blasé with
I'm
the
more
things
than
that come out
happy
your mouth.
where you don't understand refraction at all. You don't understand about going up and
No,
down.
no.
that
See, there's another
I'll sort that in the
blasé comment,
presentation.
Rumpus.
But I'm
You
happy
don't
for you to
understand
say
what I
where you're
understand.
standing.
You don't know what I understand, Rumpus. So why would you make
I
the
do,
assertion that I
do,
don't understand it?
I can assure you I do. But what I do not know for sure is where
you
you were
don't.
saying now you would take it from, whether you agree with that cross that was on the video that Ranty, the clip was. So if you could just tell me, because the clip that Louis keeps on bringing up shows you standing well above the top caravan, and I thought you'd accepted that. And obviously, I assumed, because you didn't argue with it, I assumed that you'd accepted it, but I might be wrong here. So I just want to know your position, where you think you were standing when you took the video.
Do you want to know where I think I was standing or where I was standing?
Well, both. Well, I'm interested in your opinion where you were standing.
No, I know exactly where I was standing, Rumpus.
Okay. Well,
I showed it on the video. Right. Let's
okay.
Nathan,
I haven't looked at your video, so I'm not. That's what's the word? Negligent of me. But the clip that Louis keeps on bringing up, and I thought you'd accepted, was you. There's a picture of you, I think, next to the camera, and someone's taken a picture of you with the camera. Was it with you? I think it was you next to the camera, and then you were looking down on, and then you could see the top caravan to your right, about at least 15 feet below you. And I assumed you'd accepted that was where you took the video from. But if that's not the case, I need to be corrected.
No, I only accepted it for the sake of moving the advancing the discussion forward.
Okay.
I gave him 100 feet of observer height.
That's fine. I mean, yes, I mean, I appreciate in part you said 100 feet is fine. And it looks as though that's actually probably going to be a bit closer, given all the tide out and all the contours. We've now looking at the contours on the Ordnance Survey map that I have looked at, that Gem Panda found and things.
You're now screen sharing. It's taken me a couple of minutes because you're on different formats, but now you're screen sharing.
Sorry. Right, Rumpus, I did 3 video observations, okay? The 2 that I've released on the internet, one of them is released here from this point that I keep pointing out, and you can see in the video that there's a caravan. I'll show you the video of the caravans just so that we're all in the same position. It's this video here, so bear with me while I pull it up onto the screen.
You're not being screen grabbed properly here by Nathan.
Have I done something wrong here, Nathan? Nathan, we're not seeing the Skype screen. We're seeing the Hangout screen. Nath? Oh, he's doing it. I think he's doing it.
He might not be able to talk while he's sharing the screen or something. I don't know.
Can you hear that Hoover in the background?
Yes.
Is it really loud?
No. Can you share my screen? Is
Hang
this
on a
where
minute,
you
there's a
stood?
queue.
Nick?
Hang on a sec. Nathan, you need to move the Skype window out of the way, don't you?
This is
Is it on?
from your first
No, it's
video.
on. Can you guys see it now?
No.
Hang on.
Right. Yes, and this is well above the. This is not the point. Then Ranty, where Ranty put a cross on the screen.
It is the point.
We're clearly
Rumpus.
above the level of the top caravan.
Bear with me a sec, Rumpus. Let Nathan get it on screen so I can see that he's got it on screen. Am I missing something? Is it on or not?
No.
I've got it up. I've got it up from your first video.
So Paul's got this up. We're clearly above. We're not where Ranty put the cross.
It is. It's exactly where Ranty put the cross. You get out where Ranty's put the cross,
Look at the clip.
and I'll show
Can
people.
you see what Paul's doing? He's showing us a video here where you're clearly above the level of where that cross was put.
Right. Forget what
Hey,
Paul's
Ranty,
showing.
you know what? This
I've got
conversation
the
is
video
going to
that was
continue
taken.
to go on forever and ever, right? So honestly, remember what we talked about when we first got on the chat? Was what we want is for everyone to tell you.
Oh, well, now you're
What? No.
Yeah, shut up,
Hellboy.
Hellboy.
Don't talk over me. Hey, don't talk over me. You're talking over me
I'll
right
talk
now.
over you, Hellboy. They're in the middle of conversation. Hellboy. Hellboy, they're in the middle of a discussion about it. Paul is currently presenting, and he will get his opportunity.
Stop talking over me. Stop talking over me. Just stop talking over me. I was talking.
Change the subject. You're trying to change the subject. We want to resolve this. I want to know what Anthony thinks he was.
You
Anthony knows exactly where he was. Right, let me show you. I think
Sure.
I think he's got it on. I think Nathan's got it on screen right now. Is that right, Nathan?
That's exactly the same as what I've got.
Right.
Right.
So,
So,
you're well
this
above
is
the
one
level
of the places.
caravans, Anthony.
And then there was another place that was one of these other ridges here. I don't know exactly which one it was, but it was.
Do you accept you're here well above the level of the caravan? So you're not where Ranty put the cross.
Rumpus. There's the caravans. I'm right next to the roof of the caravan.
What? You're above the level of the caravans. That's
cannot
clear.
claim you're at the same level of those roofs, Anthony. Please.
You are above the height of those.
Well above them. You're at least 10 feet, 15. I'll go as far as I say 15 feet above the level of those caravans. Surely
Rumpus, you've obviously got no idea
and herein
how
lies,
to judge
Herein
scale
lies
and
the
size.
importance of taking a 360-degree view of where you take camera footage from.
Yeah, but understand that I didn't do it for that reason.
Because
So I've only got what I've got, and it is what it is.
I know.
With regards to where Ranty put his cross,
Hold on. Can we just hear Paul's? I just want to hear Paul's criticisms concisely, with no one interrupting him.
All I'm suggesting is that we need to be able to positively identify where you're standing. And so in your future video, just a 360 degree about where you're standing will help to, limit any doubt about where you're standing. Because this is a situation we have here. We're arguing about where you're standing. A simple 360 degree view to show where you're standing would have been really, really helpful here. And I don't
I understand,
honestly
Paul,
understand.
do you accept that I didn't do it with any intentions whatsoever at the time?
But do you agree, looking at this shot here, that it is clear that you are above the level of those caravans there?
Above.
Yeah.
No, it's not well above at all. You guys can't scale. Typical thing of ballers. You think that 93 million miles away is close. Because when you do it on your angular size and all the shadows and the umbra and the penumbra, you put 93 million miles and it's dead close. This is another example where you can't scale.
Okay, well, I mean, I've got to jump in here, Anthony, because from where I'm standing, based on your shadow alone, it looks like you're above the height of the caravans. I mean, what's the issue? Why are you disagreeing with them in this regard? Because from this angle, it's obvious. You've only got to look, and you are.
Because
the camera's angled down, though, isn't it? It's not angled level.
But if it was level, if you're saying it's angled down, that would make the effect worse. You would appear higher, even higher above the caravans if you angled it up.
Well, okay,
because you can see this area here. This area here is clearly sort of like level with the top of that caravan.
Okay, so let's on the Google Maps, it's the difference between as I go up the coast there, it goes from 33 feet to 34 feet to 35.
Hold on, Paul. Let me just address you.
It's making a foot of difference if you put me at different places along that edge. And I don't mind being put at different places along the edge, but with regards to the cross that Ranty's drawn, I still maintain
which is well
that Ranty
down
was
that
correct.
path, down the level to what level with the caravan bases. You're 15 feet above the caravan head tops.
No, I'm not. 15 feet is a ridiculous estimation. Rumpus, how big's your penis? 15 feet? Because that's no way 15 feet.
He wouldn't cut his in half for anyone.
Your brain is clearly much smaller than you think it is. If you think that's the same height of the base of those caravans, I just cannot believe.
My brain's bigger than your penis. Put it that way.
You are being unbelievably stupid.
It really is. It really is being dishonest.
Childish.
Yeah. Well, no, I think
it's not being dishonest, guys. It's clear. You can see where I am in relation to the caravans. I am at the bottom end of that slope.
Oh God.
No.
Yeah.
Like this is incredible.
Even Nathan disagrees with you, Riley.
Just amazing.
I don't care. I know where I was in relation to the caravans. So unless that cliff face has changed significantly, which to be fair, it may well have done since 2003, I know where I was. I was right next to that second caravan, which is exactly what that picture shows. It puts me at the bottom end of the slope.
Oh my God.
How many caravans beyond this shot are there, and do they go up in height?
On the right-hand side.
Is there any more caravans to the right of this image, and are they any higher in elevation?
Yeah, if you look at Google Maps, you can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more caravans to the right of the caravan that you can see the edge of. You see the gable end of the caravan. There are 6 more to the right.
Can you maybe try, hold on a second, Anthony, if you can just stop screen sharing, then start screen sharing again, because it might just be because we were joined by Make 4 between your screen share, so that might have just thrown it off. But if you can just stop and start again, hopefully we can. But so far, I've got to be honest, from what we have on screen now and what the audience can see, here's your shadow. You're looking down on these roofs. That's what it looks and appears to me, just in the visual evidence.
All right, just hang on a sec. Let me.
Just amazing. Unbelievable.
Can you see that now? Oh, hang on. Share screens there. Right, you should now be able to see the triangle. Can you see the triangle of the caravans?
Yeah, they're all the same elevation, aren't they? You can see
Right.
where you bloody well were, well above them. Oh, God.
No, Rumpus. Give me a minute to show you on the evidence what you can see, Rumpus, not what you can guess. What you can see, okay? We have the caravans that are facing the cliff edge over here. We have one caravan in the shot that's on the right, okay? That puts you in only one position, Rumpus. It puts you, there's the first caravan. So I'm online with the second caravan with my field of view. It can only be here. It's the bottom end of the lip. Does anybody disagree with me based on the evidence, or do you want to make it up?
You'd be facing directly into the windows if that was the case. You're not.
That's right.
You stupid moron. You can see they're pointing well to the left of you.
There's the windows, Rumpus, that I'm facing directly into. I'm not facing into the first one, but I am facing into the second one. So when you look at where the map is, Rumpus, what lines up with the second one, it's this bit here.
You are well above those. Whatever the point is, the elevation.
Hold on, Rumpus. I mean, again, now we're back to I totally agree with him. That's what the field of view I'm going to bring it per Paul's shot again. So that's exactly what the field of view demonstrates. What's your issue with what he's just said, Rumpus?
Rumpus thinks 15 feet is 3 feet.
If you think that your feet in this picture are the same.
No, it's not what I think, Rumpus. It's what I can prove.
You're an idiot. I mean, you're
no,
just.
Rumpus, it's not what I think. It's what I can prove on the evidence.
The top right. You see the top of that. The top of the thing that you're the sort of ridges interfering with your view there. To the right, where that posts are. That. If you think you're at the base, I mean, it's just ridiculous. You think you're at the base of these caravans. I mean,
Rumpus, look at the picture. What do you see evidence-wise you see the first caravan and you see the gable end of it and the window. So the next caravan is where I'm perpendicular to. So when you look back to the actual map, that puts you
I've got
round
some
about
comments to
here.
make regarding the evidence that we see in front of us. Okay, if you share my screen, mine's I can get a much fuller view than what you're sharing. Okay, so if you look at my screen, I'll point out some
go ahead, Paul.
undeniable
when I've
things
got the
here.
evidence.
Okay?
You're sharing, Paul. Go ahead.
And Anthony's view, he's obviously, you can see his shadow. He's leaning down, looking through the camera. The camera's on a tripod, so it's up at least 4 feet, say. And you're looking down, and let's say you're looking downwards past this little bit of land here, and yet while you're looking downwards, you are looking at almost the top of the roof of this caravan down here. That means that this caravan here must be significantly below the level of that land there. Because despite the fact that you're actually looking downwards at it, you're still looking at the top of that caravan. Anthony
I understand where you guys are getting this wrong. I get it.
Up the hill.
What you guys are trying to do is work out.
Hold on, Anthony. Just let me get to the end.
You're standing opposite the second caravan back here, but it's clearly not at the base of the caravan. Okay.
I understand where you've got your misunderstandings from, Paul. What you're trying to do is work out my actual
second caravan is level with the roof of the first caravan. That's the only possibility.
Paul, listen, what you're trying to do is work out my actual height because it contradicts the low level that it shows on Google Earth. However, what I'm doing is applying the position. Listen,
I'm not
Paul.
referring to Google Earth at all.
Listen.
All I'm saying is that from this photo, it appears that you're standing above the level of these caravans.
Just wait,
absolutely.
Paul. I'm saying that based on the evidence, I can triangulate my position and apply Google Earth. Now, the issue appears to be that you don't accept what Google Earth says with regard to my height. That's a different issue to being where I am.
You can't even get your own idea of where your height is, right?
I'm not appealing to Google Earth here at all. All I'm saying is that the evidence in this photograph shows that you at least are standing level with, if not above, the level of that first caravan, the roof level of that first caravan.
Paul, I agree with that. I agree with that. But what we're trying to show is where I was.
Those caravans go up the hill. Is the base of the second caravan level with the top of the roof of the first caravan?
No, they're level.
Do you
They're on a flat car
do you
park.
agree that you're standing higher than the roof?
Hold on,
of
Lottie.
that
We've
caravan?
waited for Paul to get to the end. Now I want to hear the response. So, no offence. I just want to hear what Anthony has to say in response.
Yeah.
The caravans are all level because they have to be level because they get moved on a wheel frame that has to be level. Otherwise, they can't move it. It's
Right.
got to be a car park.
Exactly.
So by that token, you're standing above the roof of the second caravan.
Yep.
Right. But do you understand, Paul, that I
Right,
can
I agree
identify
now.
it on
Let's move
Google
on.
Maps,
Good, let's
and
move
that's
on.
what we're applying?
I just want to welcome Jazaconda. Welcome, Jazaconda.
Well, you've all trolled his concession to what you're trying to get him to make as the point. So, let's hear it again. Do you actually concede that you are above that caravan line, Anthony? Yes or no?
Which caravan line? The first caravan? Or where you can't see the second caravan?
What's in
Just said they
view
were
is
the
all we
same
can go
height.
by.
Just said they were
So,
the same height.
Because if you're asking me to guess with relation to the second caravan, I can't guess. If you're
You
asking
said
me
they
to
were all
guess
the same
to make a
height.
comment on the first one, I'd say I'm probably a little tiny bit above it. However, you guys are trying to argue my actual height, and I'm merely applying the height given to me on Google Earth based on my position. So there's a disparity between the two.
that was the case,
and you're
actually. I
arguing
think
it against
that-
me on the
No, I don't
disparity.
think that's the case. So
rather than
their argument is against Ranty, and they're saying that Ranty's scaling these. I've seen him do it, and they're saying, well, you can't do that in the way that Ranty has because he started you at the level of these caravans, which is an unreasonable way to scale and put you at 35 feet if you're already above them, and you've just conceded that you are.
Ranty
So
started it at the top of the caravans, not at the caravans. Ranty's position was correct. Do we have Ranty's photo? The one that he did?
Ranty's photo.
Where he put a red cross, which is the thing I complained about.
Have you
the
got this
same
red
level
cross?
as
This
the
is something that you've
of the
said
caravan.
several times, Rumpus. Have you actually got it so we can actually compare and
No,
contrast
unfortunately,
now?
I just remembered it. No, sorry, I haven't, unfortunately.
You remembered it. If your remembering
realise
skills are
anybody
anything
was
like your
disputing
judgment of
this, and
scale
now
skills,
that
then we're
Ranty-
obviously going to
Ranty-
misrepresent Ranty. But
Yeah,
I agree
I
with
thought he
Ranty that where he
accepted
put the cross is exactly right.
It's exactly wrong because it's at the base of the caravans. You've now just accepted that you were above.
No, he
them.
didn't put it
So
at the
they
base of the
can't-
caravans at all. You've misrepresented the fact again, Rumpus. Get the evidence
What
and
have I
produce that
misrepresented? What have I
claim.
misrepresented?
Well, I was under that impression because of you saying it. Now I've just repeated it, which is presumably why he's annoyed, because I'm now repeating your incorrect assertion, according to him, but you don't have the photo to show us, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've been
So,
joined
in
by
other words,
Arif. Hold on.
I'm calling him
We've been joined by
out.
Arif. Might as well carry on my little conversation.
Well, Anthony now says it's
Hold on,
accepted
Rumpus.
above the Kelly
Just give me
caravan.
10 seconds. Literally, it's all I need. How you doing, Arif?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good. Oh, we've also been joined by Curved Water. Good to have you here, Curved.
I hope you got a sick note, Curved. You've been gone for at least 3 days.
Give me a chance, Anthony. Hold on. How you doing,
Sorry.
Curved?
Well, I'm doing okay. I'd be here more if you stopped starting them at like 3 o'clock in the morning my time. But
Yeah, we do that on purpose.
I'll do 2.
hey, can I ask a
11
question
a.m., 11
really
p.m.
quickly, just to help move this along? Riley, did you remember to subtract the height that you were above the caravans from your viewer height?
No, I applied the height as given to me by Google Earth. That's what I did.
It's okay. I don't expect you to get jokes, Riley.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out how mathematically incompetent you are.
Well, maybe I just don't understand your
look at the
sense of
photo.
humor. That's more accurate. Right, anyway, let's get back to Rumpus and his claim that Ranty had put the cross in the wrong place. Rumpus, have you found the evidence on which you seek to rely?
What about your claim that the higher you are, the lower your viewer height is?
No, that's
No,
all
no,
right,
at the
Curved.
moment,
We'll
we're
get
calling
to
out
that,
Rumpus.
Curved. I promise I will let you come back in with your points, but we are now on a bit of a
Okay,
sticky issue.
Go ahead.
I'm referring to the clip that was put on. I think it might be by Anthony yesterday, where he showed Ranty with a picture when he put a red cross next to the base of a caravan. And
Rumpus, was it the
and I
early show or the
thought that
afternoon show?
Anthony had previously accepted that he was above the caravan, and now he does again. He was disputing it earlier in this hangout, and now he seems to have accepted that he was above the height of the caravan. So we've got a contradiction. He's saying that Ranty put his cross in the right place at the base of the caravan. Now he's accepted he was above the caravan. He's contradicting
Right,
himself.
and so we're at the point, Rumpus, where I still agree that Ranty's put his cross in the right place, and I'm asking you to produce the evidence on
Well,
which
how
you
can it be if
rely
you
that
put the
Ranty's done it
cross at
wrong.
the base of a caravan?
Find the evidence and let's present it, because you're the one making
Well,
the claim that
you
it's
had
wrong,
the
and I
video, you
agree
had the
with
clip,
Ranty's position.
You had the photograph,
Well,
not
let's-
me. You show me Ranty's thing. You're the one with access to Ranty's stuff, not me.
No, Ranty stuff is Ranty stuff. I don't. have the thing that you're citing,
I
because I'm
think
not even
you
sure I know what
presented
you're
it
referring to.
yesterday.
You're the
I
one
was
that's made the
interested.
assertion. You've got to produce the evidence.
Well, anybody who remembers that red cross that Ranty put up, or you put up, I can't remember who did it, will know that it was at the base of the caravan. You're now saying you were not at the base of the caravan. You've accepted you
No,
were
I'm
above
saying
it.
that Ranty's put the
End
cross
of
in the
story.
correct place.
Sorry?
So you're the one with the assertion. You've got to produce the evidence, Rumpus. That's how it
Do
goes.
we
You know
all
that.
remember from our memory where he put the red cross? Is anybody disputing that he put the red cross at the base of a caravan?
Yes, me.
Is anybody
I'm
disputing
disputing that.
Well, you and him have got access to that video, that shot. I don't.
Right, you're the one making the claim, and I want to. You've got to
invalidate me,
produce
can't
the
you, by
evidence on
bringing up
which you
the
say is
cross,
faulty.
the picture with the cross, because I think you've got it. I think it was even you who presented it. You can show me straight away here that he put the cross above the caravan, but in fact, what you'll find is he put it.
I don't believe I have it, and if I do have it, I may be mistaken as to the exact clip, the film,
So
the
you
thing
are-
that you're referring to. But you're the one that's making the assertion, Rumpus, that he got it wrong.
Well, I think it
Okay,
was in the
present the
hangout
evidence
yesterday, I
and let's
think.
prove it.
And well, okay, yes, but do you think he put the cross at the base of the caravan?
No, I saw where he put the cross, and it was at the top of the caravan.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, you can prove me wrong by just bringing up the picture that he put up.
You're the one who made the assertion, Rumpus. You're the one who
but I
made
don't
the
have access
assertion.
to
That's
the- I
why I
don't
asked
have the
you to
clip.
bring it up.
I have it from my memory. I don't record everything as Ranty puts up.
No,
So it's a bit like the
Anthony
Emperor's
is the one
New
who's got access
Clothes
to that information.
curvature, where you just fantasize that it's there and then do the maths afterwards without actually presenting any evidence of your assertions,
I can
right?
present you
So
with
we're going to go to
reports
some
of
maths to prove it now without actually providing any evidence. Is that what we're going to do now?
Just simply go. Just go. And
Just
look
do
at-
the
look
maths
at
and we can
the
prove
ship going
Ranty's
over the
wrong.
water.
Let's
I tell
do
you
some
what,
maths
Nathan,
on how
do you
Ranty's
explain the
wrong. Let's
sun
bring some
going below the
cartoons up.
horizon? How do you explain that?
If we presuppose that Ranty's wrong and then give an explanation, at the end we can assert he's wrong because we've presupposed it.
Well, I could try to explain it with a diagram. My drawing's kind of bad. Is there a way to screen share? And I could kind of draw the phenomenon.
just
as
screen share.
happening?
You feel free.
I think I've done.
Why don't we explain it with the image?
It's easier to draw it because there's.
Hey, Arab, why draw it when we have the image?
It's easier to explain the interactions that way.
Can you see what I have on my screen?
Let me see.
All right, here we go.
Can you see
Well,
my
that's
screen?
not the one that
Shut
Ranty
up,
did, is it?
Captain
Or is
Bullshit.
it?
Let me see. I see right here curved. Okay.
I don't think that's the one because I can't even see the red lettering on
What's
that.
What are you pointing to?
Is that the Knights Templar? Is that where they marked it?
Let me see. What do you point to? I don't see a pointer. I see a house on the beach.
Right, I'm
red
colorblind
cross.
and I can't
Red
even see the
cross,
red on
red
the
X
screen.
right here.
We have the image. We have.
I see that. Okay.
Where is that?
From this spot on the path.
Oh, this is nice.
Level with the bottom of this right here, right?
Yeah.
This is
The bottom of the
irrelevant.
big one.
Yeah.
This is level with the bottom of this one.
Yeah. Looks
What about
level.
here? This seems to be in line with this area right here as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say I'm standing about right here.
Okay.
Because that's in line with that, right, Ara?
It's only a trick, but the thing is, stuff that's getting further away from you is gonna look smaller and smaller and go toward the center of your vision, depending on your height. I need to kind of explain the interaction.
Sorry to
You're
interrupt.
utter embarrassment to Flat Earth. Shut up.
Bear with me a
Well,
second,
well, let me
guys.
explain the interaction.
Sorry, bear with me, Curved. I just want to introduce, we've got a new guest, Jazzaconda. How you doing?
Hey, Nathan Oakley, how are you, mate? I was just wondering if I could just ask one question.
Well, yeah, go ahead. Why not?
We have the image. We have the image that I was talking about here.
53-43, isn't it?
I can see the image, but it's a question that will.
Right. And you can see from the cross that it's almost in line with the base of the caravan. And it's not.
Hang on, I
down
can't
up the
see.
truck. In
I
fact,
can't
it's
see.
probably-
He's got his screens on.
Yeah, I can see that, Rumpus. But the question I'm about to ask
So
doesn't
Ranty
have any
got it
bearing on
in
that.
the wrong place. As I
No.
said.
No. Actually, right. Let him ask his question and let's come back to it.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
diversion, right?
Okay. Am I cleared for takeoff?
Clear.
Yeah, just do it.
Do it.
Roger, copy. Why Why would chemtrails prove, when viewed on the horizon, prove the Earth's a globe? Why do they curve?
They don't curve, do they?
They
They're
don't.
straight.
They appear
Do you have
straight.
any evidence that they curved?
No, they don't.
Yes,
What
they
is-
do.
What is the
They
chemtrail?
don't.
I've only seen straight chemtrails. You need to show me a picture with a curved chemtrail.
Oh, you
I
mean
agree.
contrails?
Okay.
I don't even know what it
It's
is.
one that's curving
Sorry,
around
I'm
the
going to
Earth.
just bring this back on topic. I know the chemtrails thing is just a
Okay.
bit like me telling Curve. I can't not tell Curve not to get his points in, then let that one slide. So great, we'll maybe come back to that. But I just want to. So what we've got is a picture of where he stands, and the arrow. If I put a straight line with the arrow that's pointing where it says he's here, he is
No, the
like.
cross is
Hold
the
on,
cross.
he's a hair's width above. Below. So if his tripod was, I don't know, how 18 inches high, it would take him to exactly where he has just said and where it's suggested in that image. In other words,
that cross. If you imagine you were standing at that cross.
Hold on, Rumpus. I haven't finished my sentence. Hold on, Rumpus. The audience can see what I'm showing, and I don't know if you can. Maybe, maybe not. But I've just put a straight line with the roof and where the pointer marks. Yeah, and basically it's within a hair of where he's put, and if he's got a tripod, it would take him above the roof line, precisely as shown in the other image. So far, these two tally perfectly.
Absolutely not.
Well, I've just put a straight line up. What are you talking about?
That's
It
in
does.
front of the first row of caravans, not the row that goes down the other
Yes.
side.
Oh, no, fair comment. So you're saying this is the top caravan, and the caravan we can see is, let's just do it with my mouse pointer. So you're saying this caravan. I don't know if you can see that on
No, we can't see your mouse.
You can't see. I can't share my pointer with you. It's okay.
It's
No, that's a
seeing-
fair
it's seeing your
criticism. So
pointer.
you're saying this is the top caravan that we have a clear view of with the four
topmost
windows.
caravan
It is
you can
actually the
see
top
is
caravan,
one that
Nathan,
he was
that's
in-
right.
was in the shot.
Ah, well now that's fair comment.
Great. So we've agreed then. The cross is in the completely wrong place, as I said. Great.
No, hang on.
Honestly,
Hang
you're
on.
an
Let me
incompetent
interrupt
idiot,
a second. I've got
Anthony, just
Nathan,
a
would you?
stupid moron.
Hang on.
Utterly
Can I
Let's just.
explain the interaction
Wait.
between
You're
distance
all
to
wrong
height
here, guys.
on my
The
thing?
point that Ranty was making yesterday is not the point that you think he was making. Nathan, would you bring up the hangout from this time yesterday and go to 53 minutes 43 seconds? That's the picture they're talking about. However, the context has been changed. Right? The
No, this
claim
is the
by
one that I was
Rumpus is
referring
that he's
to.
trying
I
to
think
show
this is one that was
something
speaking
that
about.
he's not trying to show. So give us a minute. Let's get the
This is
actual
the red
picture
cross.
on that
This
he
is the
actually
red cross
uses.
that I was referring to. But I presume this is
Normally do
Ranty's
this, but I
picture.
will. So it's the hangout this time yesterday. So it's two hangouts ago.
Yeah, so it's 96 live.
95. No, 96.
No, 96.
Okay.
96 live, and then go to 53 minutes 43 seconds. That's the actual picture that he was being put on screen. But you have to remember
Find,
what was being discussed at this point. We
53 what?
53:43. The point in question at this point isn't where I was stood. The point in question is what was the height from the beach to the caravans, and that's what they're arguing with Lottie. So what he's showing
Well, I
is
just
from the
referred
from
to
the
the cross. That was the thing I was referring to. I don't know if there's something else. Then
yeah, but that's not in relation to where I'm stood. That's in relation to the height of the caravans off the beach.
Right,
So
you're all
there's a
going to get turned down for
misunderstanding
just
with what was
one
being-
second. I'm really sorry. You're all just going to get muted temporarily while I share this and play it.
Cropped it out, measured it across, put you on the rocks where you took your image from, and I've scaled 1, 2, 3 down to the top of the rocks, proving that it's under 30.
Okay, let's turn it back up. I think I've pretty much isolated the actual image we're talking about now. I hope you're both or all satisfied with that. You back
Yeah,
up,
this
you
is to
can
do
all be
with
heard
Lottie's a
again.
bet.
Is this the correct image? Can everyone see that? Go to the watch page
no,
if
we
you
can't
can't.
see anything.
Go to the watch page if you can't see it.
Watch page. I gotta open it.
Don't let it play out. Make sure it's muted. Give you all a few seconds just to see that we have got, and we're all confirmed that this is the correct thing we're talking about. Rumpus, mainly, I want you to say yes here. Hopefully you will.
It's on the watch page. Okay, so I've got to go.
Yeah, I'll give you a few seconds. While you're doing that, we have about 10 minutes left on this broadcast. Massive thank you to everyone who shared the show. Subscribe if you've not done so already.
What was this?
Hit that super chat. I'm not going to lie, these debates are getting more cordial, and I'm very grateful for that. I think it's
Yeah, it's
because of
'cause Lewis
Lottie.
is
Lottie
unsubbed.
deserves the credit, I think.
I'm sorry. Where am I supposed to be seeing this image?
So if you actually go
On
to
the watch
YouTube as
page.
like you were an observer watching, not
Yeah,
participating.
right. Yeah, watching the YouTube. Where in live chat somewhere you've put it?
No, it's actually on
No,
screen.
it's in the actual screen.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Right. Okay, I got to. Okay, I have to bring. Okay, right.
Is this the image that you're referring to, Rumpus?
No, because no cross in it, is it? This is not the one that. No, this is not the image.
Oh, right. Well, in that case, I'm sorry. I've wasted everyone's time. I
Well,
was
that
trying
was
to
a
do
big
Rumpus's-
anticlimax.
This is why Rumpus should bring the evidence, because then we know what he's referring to.
I mentioned
not
one
me
with the
looking
red
for
cross
it
in
and
it. The
getting
only
wrong.
image with the red cross is the one that we found.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what you're referring to. That's why you should be bringing the
The image
evidence so that we can.
I was just sharing. That I'm sharing. I was showing just now. This one. the one
Okay,
that,
so in that case, then let's
no.
see what Rumpus.
Sorry, not
I'm
that
sorry,
one.
Nathan.
No,
I thought I
don't
was
worry about
helping.
it. These things happen. See if.
Anyway, the
Rumpus
point
has got
is,
it.
you were disputing that you were above the level of the caravan, and now we've
we were
established you have
disputing whether
accepted
Ranty
you're above
put the
level of
cross in the
caravan.
right place. That's what we were discussing.
Out to Charlie.
You
for
said
the
you
super
were at the
chat.
same level as the caravan, and now you've accepted you were above the caravan.
No, Rumpus. I said Ranty had put the cross in the right place. That's what took us onto this tangent.
But why were you why were you arguing you weren't above the level of the top caravan?
Because we were arguing whether Ranty had put the cross in
You
the correct
said
place
you
or
were not above the top level of that
Okay,
caravan.
before
and
you
now
start
you're saying
shouting
you
at
are.
each other,
That's
sorry,
contradicting
you moved
Rumpus.
the
Hold on,
goalpost.
hold on. We've been joined by Mr. Flat Curve. How you doing, Mr. Flat Curve?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Very well. Very pleased to have you here. Also, is that an old
Hey.
guest? Alan, is it just Jazzaconda that's been kicked and rejoined? How you doing? Is it Alien? Alien.
No, Nathan, can I just ask one question in respect to this question we're talking about now, in respect to
what she's thinking, but
Lottie,
Respect to
please,
whatever.
please. You were doing really well as the moderator, and you've just interrupted Alien. Come on.
it was a super chat, Nathan. I was just following the normal.
Yeah, I've
standard
shouted Charlie
rules.
out. Charlotte, rather. Thank you, Charlotte. Go ahead, Jazzaconda.
no, I was just wondering if the Earth's flat and the Moon's 3,000 miles away. I saw the moon rise on the west coast of New Zealand the other night, and if that's 3,000 miles away, why could I not see the lights of the Sydney Harbour Bridge 2,200 miles away? It wasn't the
have you got any
light, it's not
evidence that you-
perspective. That pesky curve was getting in the way, I think. I don't know. I'm
Have
not
you
sure.
got any
Moon's
evidence
bigger.
to prove your assertions accurate and verifiable? Can you show us what you're referring to?
Oh God.
No, well, hang on. What was it? Was it you, Curve, that was saying the other night that
Oh, he's going to completely ignore that. So, do you have any evidence to prove the assertion that you have just made verbally?
Plenty.
Brilliant. Let's have a look.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have any video evidence, but 6 billion people around the world have seen it.
Oh, right. You know what? You know what else? Hold on. There's about 50 million people that have seen Godzilla. Does that make Godzilla real?
I haven't seen Godzilla.
Have you seen
I've
a
seen it.
sunset?
I've got video footage.
That's
I can bring
enough
it
to
up
tell you
right
that the
now.
Earth is not flat.
Yeah, I've seen Godzilla.
See, even people on this panel have seen Godzilla. Man, are you an
Have they
idiot?
seen
You don't know that Godzilla exists.
Have they seen sunsets and sunrises? That will tell you that the Earth's not flat. Just in that one thing.
What do they call them?
Exactly,
Sunrises, as opposed to Earth turns.
Curved. Look at your photo.
There's
Look at
clues
your
in the name,
profile
I'd say.
photo.
Sunrising, sunrise. Not Earth turn. They don't call them Earth turns, do they? Am I missing something? Clue is in the name, I would say there, Rumpus. Clue is in the title. The sun rises,
There, but
rises and moves across and then sets. That sun.
How can you
Nathan.
explain a sunset on a flat Earth?
The sun sets.
you can't.
The sun.
Right,
it
so in
sets.
other words, it goes below the level of the flat
Are you
Earth.
going to
and the
use?
whole of the
Are you going to be
planet
able
will
to
go
use
into
the word
darkness.
sun
It
and
doesn't.
setting when you explain that the Earth's turning beneath us? Or are you going to extrapolate lots of other things to work around the fact that the clue is in the title?
10 seconds to introduce Mike's
Sunrise.
mouth and Mike.
Think about it this way. I'm in New Zealand, 45 degrees south. Right, it's the summer solstice.
But you've got no evidence, though, have you?
This
Just going to make another assertion.
what?
Anyway, Rumpus
There's
has been
4
waiting
million
patiently. Hold on,
people
guys.
here.
Rumpus, I'd much rather hear you than this nonsense.
Right. How do you explain a sunset, which means that the sun goes below the horizon on a flat
It's a
Earth?
mighty mouse, by the way.
Hold on, let me finish. Which means that the sun is therefore going below the level of the flat Earth, which means that everything should go into darkness. That one simple fact. This is why in ancient times they realized we couldn't be living on a flat Earth. They thought, oh, sunsets. They saw boats disappearing as well, their hull down. Thought, yes, obviously we can't be on a flat Earth. No idiot would possibly believe on a flat Earth because the whole Earth doesn't go dark when the sun sets for any individual. No, therefore it can't be a flat Earth. Simple as that. End of story.
Who's screen sharing right now? Is it
Rumpus? It doesn't really make. I'm a bit confused,
Rumpus,
Rumpus,
can you
because
tell me
what
what
I've got on
collectively
what I've got on my screen from you right now doesn't seem to have a sun in it. What are you talking about?
No, sorry,
Where's the sun in this image, Rumpus? I'm just a bit confused. I just want to get clarity for the. Hold on, Rumpus. Let's just turn you down so I can make it clear. I'm a bit confused now based on your last few sentences, Rumpus, because you've stopped screen sharing altogether now. Now you realise that you've been sharing something that literally didn't contain a sun while you were talking that nonsense. Did you realise that the people who'd come in and trolled had got a better distraction than you with your rubbish evidence for a quarter of a mile of missing Earth curve?
Are you trying to get off the subject of sunsets?
Well, you had literally got a picture of the Isle of Man up while you were talking about sunset. So if you could just let's turn you down again. Let's just have the image you had up on screen a minute ago that you stopped while you realised your idiocy. And let's see the sun in that image, please. You had it on screen while you were talking. We can all rewind after it's rendered and have a look at your stupidity. But I'd like you to bring back the image you had while you gave that little talk and explain where the sun is, please.
Explain sunsets.
Do you not hear the question, Rumpus? There was a image on screen while you gave your diatribe of nonsense. Where is that image now? You talked about sunsets with that image up. I'd like you to point out the sun in it, please.
How do you explain? I just happen to have it on screen. How do you explain sunsets?
Rumpus, Nathan.
Do you understand the two words together? Sun? You understand what the sun is?
How?
You understand what the word set is? So, like with the photograph, my explanation for... Hold on, Rumpus, you asked me a question, I'm answering it. Like with the photograph, my explanation for these things is very simple. The clue is in the title. Sun, the thing we see above our heads, sets, i.e. moves from its current position to somewhere where it's out of view. Now that is the sun setting. Not. Hold on, Rumpus, you're very keen to interrupt after asking me a quite direct question. So I say, like most things, the clue's in the title. It's self-explanatory. The sun sets. Now, you will now infer that the Earth turns, which is not in that title at all, is it?
Right. Okay. Here we go. Here's a diagram of the flat Earth scenario, which I will screen share.
No, I mean, Rumpus, you gotta stop talking over people, bro. That's just annoying.
I'm not your brother.
Why is Mighty Mouse here?
Listen, man.
Mighty Mouse is madman.
My brother Rumpus.
Oh, he's loud.
No, I'm not your brother.
Stop talking over people.
Nathan, did you not eject this tool earlier?
It's Madman. I didn't eject him. He's welcome here.
It's who?
Madman.
Madman.
Yeah, you know Madman. You've gone toe-to-toe with Madman a couple of times. Come on, Curved. You know who Madman is.
I can't keep track of them.
You don't remember your victories. You only remember your losses. That's
I
why
remember him as Kratom King.
Rumpus and Nathan, after you've finished, I'd like to interject once you've had your argument from someone in the southern hemisphere at 45 degrees south. Go ahead.
Right. So here we have the sun, and here we have the flat Earth, and here we have an observer on it. How do you explain that the whole Earth does not go dark on a flat Earth when the sun goes below the horizon?
Well, the sun's 3,000 miles up, Rumpus.
Oh, but isn't there? When you look at it, it goes up here, and then
Rumpus, don't bring it down like that. It's 3,000 miles up above that flat plane.
all right, it's up here, is it? And
Yeah, just move it away.
right.
Let me ask a quick question,
Don't
Rumpus.
go
It
down.
never goes down here. We even see it. Oh dear, we actually see something. The visual evidence. Oh, it goes down here, but oh dear, it can't because someone over here, a second observer. Oh
But it
dear, he's
can't
got
go down.
sunshine. He's
But
got
Rumpus,
sunshine
it
over here,
can't.
and he has got it down here.
But Rumpus,
No,
it can't go
Rumpus.
down there if it's 3,000 miles up.
I'll go about 60
Rumpus,
seconds.
And yet
can I
we
ask
do
you a
see it
question?
go down.
It must be mirage going down to the horizon, of course. That's what it is, isn't it?
I
It's still
get
up
what Curved is saying. It's a variable resistor.
It just pretends to go
Rumpus,
down.
let me ask you a question on sunset, please.
Yeah.
It's a mirage.
Do we, Rumpus, have I got your attention? Rumpus, are you listening?
About 15 seconds.
Rumpus, do we agree that when the sun and the moon are observed when at elevation, for example in the 73-mile amateur rocket, they both look like pinpricks in the sky and they don't have the same angular size and they're a lot smaller? Therefore, we can conclude from that the sun and the moon are being magnified by our atmosphere before we see them in the real state. So therefore, there's a different sunset optical thing that we're seeing that's not what happens at altitude.
And with that, I will say, first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the people who have joined this live stream, shared this live stream, and hit the super chat in this live stream. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley. Massive thank you to all of the debating panel, and I'll see you all in the next video.